everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of Fate of the Anchorman. I'm Little Red Dot. Welcome to my channel where we are kind of playtesting this kind of ridiculous original idea I had for a tabletop RPG game. But before I tell you any more about that, let's go around and meet our cast and crew for this week. Raise your hand if you are in Georgia. The four of us are in the middle of a potential tropical storm right now. So if the power goes out or if my stream cuts, it's because of the storm or any of them. So just bear with us tonight. We are dealing with weather. Let's see. Yeah, so let's go around the cast and crew. Let's meet these awesome people. I say crew because that is important. And see what everybody's up to. We're going to just go right around in the order. First up is Mr. Stiver. How are we today, James?
I am absolutely wonderful. Well, except for all the storm.
Right, except for the thunderstorm outside.
Right, except for the thunderstorm outside. But I don't think we're getting hit too incredibly hard yet anyway. So that's pretty good. I'm James Stiver, and you can also find me at Luton Dagger. Mm-hmm. And I play a podcast, and I'm playing Dallas Jackson. I don't know if there's room outside of that. I'm having a great time so far.
True story.
Mm-hmm.
Super true story. Yeah, you should check out the Luton Dagger podcast. We have two lovely people. You'll get to hear from the other one here in just a second. And I adore their podcast, not just because they live in the same city as I do, but because it's actually a really great podcast. So you should check that out. Next up, and moving right on down the line, we have Jacko Buddy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited for part 2. Last week was super fun, and I've been waiting for this all week, ready to get back into this and make lots of weatherman jokes and jokes about newspapers and radio people. So it should be a lot of fun. And my name is Jack. I go by Jacko Buddy everywhere. You can find me on Twitter and all the other magical places where people do things. And I am found normally on the Reliant Games channel on Tuesdays, Unmade Gaming on Thursdays, and then right here on Wednesdays for the duration of Legend of Anchorman.
Very exciting. Yes. And actually, the game he plays over on Unmade on Thursdays, I just happen to be a part of, so you should definitely check it out. Moving right along, we have Fuzzy. How are you today?
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm good. I'm tired. I'm really tired today. I apologize if I'm a bit not with it, but yeah, it's been a long week. But yeah, hi, I'm Fuzzy. You can find me over on twitch.tv/FuzzyFreaks, where I play lots of games. This week I have mostly been playing Pathfinder, Kingmaker. It's crack. I can stop anytime I like. And I've been doing Worlds Adrift for the past couple of days as well, because my mate Apollos has been just there going like, yeah, come play with me. And I'm like, okay, PvE now, this is good. So yeah, today I killed a man. I jumped on his ship and I killed him. I shot him in the face.
How appropriate.
Got really bad about it. And then I fell to my death a lot.
Oh, well. It sounds like you've had an eventful day. Are you sure you're ready for all this, 70s shenanigans?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What could go wrong?
Awesome. And speaking of the other half of Luton Dagger, how are you today, Mr. Adam Jones?
Oh, I am wonderful. I've had a fantastic week.
Good.
And it's even better now.
Aw, how nice.
Oh, it's just because of all of you. You're so fantastic. Yeah. But yes, I'm also on the Luton Dagger podcast. I play the character of Victor Sinclair. He's a ridiculous man with a southern fried Savannah accent, and it's just the best. And I'm about to play a character on the North by Northwest podcast. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's all that's out there right now, but I'm working on other projects, and they should be so much fun.
This is true. I have heard whispers through the grapevine, right? That's a 70s thing. I heard it through the grapevine.
Yes.
That you may be working on some fun, cool things. And last but certainly not least, somebody that is a regular here on my channel. How are you, Mr. Emily Farr, who has already survived the tropical storm?
Yes, it's already swept through here, which is why I'm at my parents' place and not my place, because my place is a house that's got wheels on it. Anyways, hey, it's me, Rim. I write D&D adventures mostly. I got one coming out pretty soon. within the next week that I'm writing with Jeff Stevens called The Madhouse of Tasha's Kiss on the DM's Guild. And I've got a project with the Adventures League that I'm doing a little typey stuff with. But yeah, I'm here to be weird, roll some funny shaped dice, and see what the news has to bring.
Yeah, well, that is if the news gets told.
It will.
It will. And for those of you that have recently joined us, welcome to the table. We're going to be rolling some dice tonight using Fate Core. If you're unfamiliar with Fate Core, don't worry. So are pretty much all of the people that are rolling dice tonight. Part of this is a learning process. We are in the second episode of Fate of the Anchorman, which is an original, I guess, gaming guide or flavor that I have worked up to put on top of Fate Core. That is, of course, inspired by one of my favorite movies of all time, and this lovely lot's favorite movie of all time. One of them, the Anchorman series. So, where are we and what is going on? Well, lots of things happened, and we will get to a recap. But before I do, I want to tell you about a few things that you can do to affect the story, and to, I don't know, make shenanigans happen, because here on this channel, we don't take anything too seriously. So if you're looking for tears tonight, go find yourself a podcast, because this is not what we do here on this channel. We are all about laughs, we are all about jokes, and we will be parodying quite a lot in this as well, which is how I'm getting away with the copyright. Cough. What? I said Anchormen, not man. I said men. All right, so people, the anchor people. The Anchor People game. So, Anchorman. So first things first, you can donate. Now, Fate, of course, is not D&D. There are less selections in terms of ways that you can affect it, but one of the most prominent ways to do so is to give what are known as Fate points to the players. Fate points are kind of like a coinage system or a token system that can be traded in to do really cool things, including invoking their aspects, which are things that make them special, and something called stunts, which are kind of like special moves or things that they can do to make things easier. In addition to that, you can drop crazy scenarios in. So if you scroll below or check out this link right here, you can figure out ways that you can donate to affect the game. In addition to all of this, we definitely want you to enjoy yourself, and there are multiple ways that you can do that. First things first, I forgot to mention last time, if you're a GIF person, well, guess what? You're on the right damn channel, because I too love a good GIF. Like, who doesn't love a good GIF? So over on the right of the screen, it's really super tiny, and I don't know exactly where it is on a mobile, but if you're on a desktop, off to the right, there's actually a button you can click that opens up a bar. It's got the little Giphy sign, and you can random type a word. It's like a random search, and it'll drop a GIF in. So let me type in Anchorman. Let's see. I can't tell if I spelled it right. It's kind of small. Let's see. It should random drop. There it is in all of its glory. So if you want to show some hype in chat and keep us going, you can always comment both with your words and with your GIFs. So feel free. The internet is at your disposal now. Oh, that's hot copy. Okay, we are going to jump right into the second episode of Fate of the Anchorman. But before I, the narrator, remind you what happened, I like to go around and have each of them tell me one thing that they remember happening. Potentially the most important thing that happened to their character, or the plot point that they felt was most influential to them. And we'll start backwards. Mr. Bernie, the cameraman. What happened last time?
Well, you see, what I can recall when I got up out of my bed that morning, I waddled on into that news station, is we were a little short on men and or women that may or may not be related to part of a ship that you launched overboard to make it stop sailing so fast. Just to be a bit more general.
Okay.
And so with this sudden new missing part of the whole equation here, it becomes a little hard to broadcast our news. I don't know what to point my camera at. I don't know what to do, I can't point it at a screen. There's no one to talk about it. That's what I remember. That's my aspect.
That's right. So no anchors for your boats. And you have nowhere to point your camera.
Even if there's no anchors, we keep sailing.
That's right. What about Matthias Gildenthorne? What does the writer of our production news team remember?
Well, I remember I did ruin a ruffian's career for life by stabbing his writing hand.
Oh, you did.
Adopt some sort of lesser career.
Oh. All I can picture
Yes,
is Brick saying, Brick killed a guy. Matthias stabbed a dude.
I did. Stabbed straight through his hand. It was a lovely moment for both of us.
Yeah, that happened. Do you remember why, in fact, you stabbed the guy? Do you remember that?
Because he initiated a round of fisticuffs with a rolled-up newspaper, and I just wasn't having it.
Oh, that's right. Key point here. We got in some fisticuffs with the newsies, if I remember.
Because we came to have a polite conversation with whatever scoundrel runs the local newspaper, and they got in our way, and that was not good for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Mostly they were trounced by our old man.
That's
Quite
actually...
thoroughly.
Yeah, and by trounced you mean smeared across the floor using a buffer.
Yes, and also gaseous weapons, I believe, were employed.
Gaseous weapons were employed. Now, what does Jennifer Jones remember of the last 3 hours of happening?
Not a lot. She was very drunk. No, she probably remembers like going to the Anchorman's Anchor People's shag pad and doing a bit of investigating, and then yes,
That's right.
There was investigating. There was a lot of investigating.
There was a lot of investigating. Yeah, you guys, you went and you didn't even have to break in because I believe somebody had a key, right? The weatherman had a key to the lead anchor.
Down your eyes.
Right.
Of course.
Yep. To his house because, I guess you're part of the anchor team.
I'm in the family. The Anchor family.
Your anchor fam. Your
Like
anchor fam.
Yeah, I'm part of the Anchor fam.
Dare I ask, do you remember the lead anchor's name?
Don Turgendy, wasn't it? Turgendy?
Oh, no. Don Turgendy is the man, along with Vanessa Corningrock, who inspired news teams to
Right.
diversify.
Yeah, I don't remember our one.
Dick Norton.
Dick Norton.
That was it.
Dick Norton. Just the dickiest of dicks. Oh, Dickie.
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, Dickie. Yeah, so you guys broke into, I say you break in, you went into Dick's house, you're right, and, investigated and found quite a few things. Now, Mr. King, the director of all of the shenanigans of Channel 10, what do you remember?
I remember us sitting around and trying to figure out what we're gonna do with the anchors missing, and our lovesick weatherman volunteering to read to news, and us having a very dramatic flashback of him not being able to get a single word off the teleprompter. And then I remember at the end us cruising under the van and realizing with great shock that he might actually just be a real weatherman, which makes him 1/4 the man of an Anchorman.
That's actually all very true and seems logical to me.
It does.
Your logic is sound. Yeah. And what does the weatherman remember?
My God, it's been such a day.
God.
My God.
I've had my heart.
I found out that Chloe, who I guess I had a crush on her, I liked, but I don't know how much I liked her until I found out that Dick Norton wrote her a note.
Oh yeah, and left her flowers.
Flowers and a note, and now I don't know. I'm not even sure what to think of anything anymore. Random sex just doesn't even feel like it's going to do this time. I don't even know.
Who are you?
Who am I? I have no idea.
So all the weatherman remembers is the fact that there's a high probability that Dick Norton's putting it to his lady.
Yeah, that can't do. Well, I guess it is doing, but I can't.
I mean, she is the co-anchor. Chloe.
She is.
Chloe.
She is. I get it. It's bonding.
Chloe
really.
Baxter. What a
I also
horrible
remember
name.
scaring the crap out of a maid.
When you and Jennifer, when Dallas and Jennifer, burst in, somebody was in the house, and it happened to be Dick Norton's housemaid. Yeah, you scared the pants, almost scared the pants off of her. She wasn't really wearing any shadow
I
dress on.
believe I intimidated her just a bit.
Yeah,
into
you guys
giving us-
played good cop, bad cop. Do you remember what she told you?
Actually, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't
That's cool.
remember because I was just in a haze of emotions.
I'm in a hazy glass case of
I was in
emotion.
the glass case of emotion.
All
It wasn't
right.
even me talking or the demons. I don't know.
So, let's see. Yeah. Oh, do you remember something?
No, I remember. I guess the most important thing that Dallas Jackson will remember is actually the note that he found in his jacket. But that's not what the.
Yes.
So that is the most important thing that Dallas Jackson remembers. Is that's where we decided to call all the troops to the warehouse because there was a major event that Dick Norton was going to that morning.
Correct.
Yay!
Yeah, and you got the hook. So the camera pans in over the cityscape of Philadelphia. The year 1975. The time 9 a.m. The story continues. We met the production team last episode as they went to work in their normal routine, only to find that the Anchormen were in fact missing, kidnapped by the Boogie Oogie Oogie Man. Between emotional losses and the possibility that the news team may not make it back for the 6 p.m. news, chaos ensued. As the camera continues over the city of Philadelphia, we watch as Dallas Jackson and Jennifer Jones rush from Dick Norton's house with an invitation in their hand, a flyer found in the deep pockets of a jacket in the back of Dick Norton's closet, along with other weird things. On that note is an invitation to a fashionable suit sale at a warehouse in the lower district of Philadelphia. A moth? Was it? Was it a moth that you said?
It was a moth. I gave Moth very specific instructions and gave it to old
God.
Mr. Bernie. Since he was a storm chaser with me, he had a connection, you see.
So Lord of the Rings.
So bad. It's so. Oh God. So, the camera catches a moth on the wind as it flutters about and lands in the hands, the crickety hands, of Mr. Bernie the cameraman. It whispers sweet nothing in his ears in the sound of a weatherman's voice, providing the statistics that there's a high probability Dick Norton and the crew were taken at a suit sale down by the docks. Off rushes a rusty, raggedy van, puffing black smoke, as Dallas Jackson and Jennifer Jones race to the same point as Mr. King, Matthias Gildenthorne, and Mr. Bernie. The wheels of the van screech just as Dallas Jackson and Jennifer Jones' feet step out of a cab. You've made it to the pier. A warehouse stands locked in front of you.
Keep
Well,
the change, darling.
Well, how are we gonna get inside this fancy little doohickey lock thing right here, right now?
Oh, hello, boys.
Dallas, this is all your idea. What brings us here again?
Look at this note. Yeah, and Dallas is gonna hand the note over to Matthias. Matthias. He was gonna be at his fancy sale. I don't know if the others are gonna be there, but this is the last known location of Dick Norton.
Wait, let me see that. They've got. Oh, they've got the new creaseless polyester. Oh.
Are there any signs on the building at all?
Actually, there are. As you begin to kind of look around, you realize that there are actually a few of these flyers laying about, as if multiple copies had been printed and potentially dropped. They blow about in the morning breeze. The lock on the door, this kind of large, like, warehouse sliding door, large bolt, but next to it lays a sign that's actually face down, as if it had been kicked over or dumped to the side.
Jennifer will sort of like use her cigarette holder to sort of like lift it up and read it.
Matching the same typography as the letterpress print you have in your hand, it says suit sale. Anchormen this way. And there's a hand-drawn arrow. And as you lift it up, you can tell it directly points towards the sliding door.
I think they may have gone this way.
Well,
How are we supposed to get in, though? It's only allowed Anchormen.
I have no idea, Mr. Bernie. Clearly, we are at an impasse.
Oh, well, okay. How about, right, Dallas, dear.
Yes.
How about if you pretend to be an Anchorman?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Here's the thing,
I do
Dallas. You are an Anchorman. You remind yourself. You did pull it out of your pocket. You were invited. Did you simply just forget to show up?
how much did I have to drink? Oh. Look, I am an Anchorman.
Yes, you are.
keep
Yeah.
telling yourself that, son.
Of course you are, sweetheart. Of course you are.
That's
So
the
come
spirit.
on, follow me. I'm gonna try
Wait. But don't discourage anyone before we.
Oh, please, I need it. Yeah, me first. Come
Yeah,
to
Jennifer.
Papa. Come to Papa.
Jennifer offers it round to everybody.
I'm quite all right for the moment, thank you.
Bernie goes and gets his camera just to kind of keep up the, yeah, this is an Anchorman. We're here to film him. That kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
Ready?
Is it the
Papa
one on
needs-
wheels, or is it just the? Oh no, it's your VHS one, isn't it?
It's it would be Betamax. I want to say Betamax was then. Oh well, it's something with tape on it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should make this look official. Miss Jones, can you make him look less like Dallas, more like Dick? More like Anchorman?
Let me see what I can do. And she sort of pulls out her bag and gets out the makeups and the powders, and it's just right. Okay, so we need to. The collar needs to be a little bit more. And yeah, she'll just kind of like just be like that. Right, chin up. Let's just need a bit more. More stubble, less stubble, less
Devil
stubble.
horns while you're at it.
Good. And Matthias, we need to put a headline.
I'm sorry, what?
We need a headline. A reason we're
Headline.
here. The story. What's the story?
Would you like me to roll crafts for the?
I was about to say, I'm going to have you roll a craft while Matthias thinks up our tag, like our line for the night. But yes, I do.
Right.
Yep, craft him up. All right, well, the good news is, well, the real question is, how handsome is Dick Norton and how difficult is it to replicate him? The good news is you're good at your job or you wouldn't be here. So that's not really the issue. I would say at a 1, he looks more put together than he did. And he will pass as a low-level Anchorman. Like for
What if I
public
make it-
broadcasting.
When she does it, can I make a dramatic pose to the camera to really pull it off?
Do-do-do! Yeah, and then it's like,
dun-dun-dun.
yeah, yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
How about local docs ill-suited for crime?
As Dallas Jackson points at the camera, bold white letters spin in, do-do-do, giving us our headline. Now, is the plan to actually live broadcast this, or are you guys just taking
No, we're just making it look convincing.
Mine's got tape.
look official? All right,
Yeah. And mine has tape on it, so it doesn't live broadcast. It can only
We're rated.
record.
it can only record and
Gotta
then
get
rebroadcast. Okay, so you guys are basically out in the field. All right, Dallas. What have you
Alright.
got to say?
Hold on.
Oh, one thing.
Last time I did this, it didn't work out so well. Let me.
One
Oh
thing.
god. Oh god. All right, hold on.
You ready?
Okay.
You got it?
wait.
Relax.
You got this.
Local docs ill-suited for crime. Local docs ill-suited for crime. Ready?
Ready and action.
I'm on the scene, Dallas Jackson, where we have local docs that are ill-suited for crime. Join me for this that we're about to do.
Ooh.
And done. And done. We're done. We're done.
Cut.
God,
And as
I
Mr.
can't do
King
this.
as Mr. King says cut, you hear a familiar sound,
Another slow clap.
another slow
Where's that
clap.
coming from?
And from around the side of the warehouse steps 5 production crew from a local news station. In fact, what you might consider to be your rival news station. This is the larger of the stations, and this one is which one? Oh, this is this is KWY, Channel 3 KWY TV, and out from behind it steps their director. Very smooth talking man. Low cut shirt, too much hair. There's a necklace tangled in it. But he walks up with a very luscious stash that feeds into his sideburns. And he is the man clapping. Well, well, well. I see that you've had to resort to the weatherman reading the news.
Please, our weatherman has twice the talent your anchormen have anyway.
The production team behind him gasp, and he says, No, no. Do not let their words harm you. For we know that their anchormen are also missing. Too bad they didn't feel like your weatherman was even worth the effort.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
So then yours are missing as well.
We wouldn't be down here, and he kind of looks around. You know he's from uptown. We wouldn't be here if they weren't. Fashionable suit sale in the middle of fall seems fishy.
Read.
Well, not really. I mean, spring and fall are both good times for fashion.
he has a point.
You'd know that if you had a decent wardrobe person.
A very short woman. She could not even possibly be 5 foot tall. Very kind of tiny, frail looking, twiggy in nature, eyelashes drawn on. She steps forward and she says, "Please," as she pushes up her glasses. You know that the best sales are in summer, but then again, we know you don't change your wardrobe yearly.
I just give her the most withering look. Just be like, darling, some things are classics and don't need to be changed.
It's
Know
funny,
that.
she
If
said.
you had a wardrobe.
And everybody's kind of like, the energy and pressure is beginning to build. If you could start snapping, this would be the time. And the director of KW, his name is, actually, we'll call him Jack. Why not?
What a lame name.
What a lame. He steps up and he says, "Look, King, I don't want to fight here. We've got more important things. Somebody has to read the 6 o'clock news."
You're right. Ignoring the pettiness of production teams, us directors, we understand something no one else does. And that's that if the news isn't read, the world as we know it may come to an end.
This is true. If it's happening here, do you think it's happening in other cities?
It could. Imagine the destruction that could be wrought with no 6 o'clock news across the nation.
It would be devastating.
It seems
How do we know that you didn't take our Anchorman? How do we know you're not bluffing?
He walks almost a little too close. He says, "Do I look like a man who bluffs?"
In that shirt? With that medallion?
there's only one way to know for sure. I want you to give me the director's handshake.
Everybody gasp. Everybody gasp. Out of thin air pops a contract. Because of course directors have to sign contracts. And he walks up and he says, "Fine. I will give you the director's handshake. To prove that my Anchormen are also missing. But
Excellent.
let's have some fun. I bet you Let's see. If we tell the 6 o'clock news first, you shut your doors. WCAU does not tell the 6 o'clock news anymore. If you beat us to it, we'll do the same.
I see.
Not worth it, Mr. King. Don't let them goad you.
I have a better idea.
But what about the weather? Can I still tell the weather at 6 o'clock?
No, this isn't your conversation.
Dallas,
This is between directors.
dear, Dallas, dear, sweetie,
Yes.
come on, have a little drink.
Okay.
Go on.
Papa is going to get his juice.
I'll take your offer and raise you one. Even worse than having to close their doors. Whichever news station loses the bet has to tell the news from now on the radio.
We are too beautiful to tell the news on just our voices.
Are you afraid you'll lose?
I am never afraid, he says, and he reaches up and, grabs your hand with his strangely greasy 70s arm and all of his bangles, and with his other hand, he deftly signs the contract midair and says, "It is done."
It is. The sacred pact of directors has been signed and cannot be revoked.
God.
He says, "So what now?"
Now, we find our Anchormen.
Well, this seems to be abandoned, and as much as I'd like to think I could talk my way into that door, it seems that the lock is a bit tight.
Yes, and unfortunately, because of this bet, we've made enemies of each other, so we won't be able to assist. Increasing our odds that no one gets the news at all.
That's fine. We can find another way, and we don't need these.
Matthias, this is America. Competition is what drives this country. It makes this country great.
And cocaine. Large
And
amounts of
co-
cocaine.
And
And
somebody
we'll
in the
get
background
along.
goes,
Certainly.
Oh,
And
could
free
I
sex.
have a little snifter, maybe?
All right. So we stop for an early morning drug ring, and then we split up to find our Anchormen.
Glorious idea.
great. And there's a montage diddly-doo, that happens as you guys share whatever drugs or drinks you have on you, as the two production crews, in any other circumstance, would be fighting and bashing each other's brains in with random weapons, are in fact sharing in a moment of euphoria before they have to figure out how, in fact, to open the door or
Right,
go
so-
inside.
Do they leave after the drug party, or?
They say, "Oh, we're not interested in this place. It seems empty. Good luck." And they do kind of like give you guys a very snooty look over their shoulders, now high as fucking kites, as they walk down back towards their much snazzier and well-painted news van.
No.
When are we getting a new news van?
Yeah, when are we getting that? Was that in the budget, Mr.
Well,
King?
this one blends in really well, though. We don't need a new one. This one just, it fits with the scenery down here.
I know, at least you got a coat of paint or something. Maybe some,
It's got like 10 coats of paint from all the damn graffiti artists that keep coming by and spraying it.
Well,
No, I
this
mean
year's-
one same color, maybe a little decal.
It also smells like mold and old people. And old people mold.
Oh, that's
Look,
me,
in
not
this
the
year's in this year's budget, we had enough money for either a new van or a new weatherman. And since I don't trust Bernie with a new van, we got the weatherman.
Well,
I mean,
suppose that
I
was
am
a
the
choice.
weatherman, but I'll be honest, that man really does kind of suck. But
So as soon as the other news team leaves, I'm going to work on a hunch.
Okay.
I'm going to walk straight up to the door on the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to square off with it, stare at it for a moment, and then I'm going to reach above the door jamb and see if there's a key there.
Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be?
Excellent.
Somebody has hid a key there for the lock. Yeah, you kind of like feel around and you're like, and sure enough, it slides right off and seems to fit this large mag lock that you click open.
Excellent.
That's bloody ingenious, that is.
Who would have thought of such a thing?
I know, right?
For one
And-
second, I respect you.
Sure enough, and the lock pops off, and you can hear kind of the metal pieces that were locked together kind of loosen and free as they clank open a little bit, but the door itself does not move.
Okay, so it's no longer padlocked, but the door is still jammed.
It's not jammed, it just needs, it's one of those on like a roller system. It's almost like a door you'd use to let a train in or something. It's big. It needs to be pushed open. It's a giant warehouse door. Mm-hmm.
I crank the van up.
Whoa.
No.
Get there. Let me try something too. And I'm going to attempt to slide the door open.
I'm gonna try and help, but just
Okay.
in a really kind of pathetic kind of, kind of way.
So we'll say, with your pathetic help, you can add a +1 modifier to it, but you are gonna have to make a physique roll, Dallas. And it's gonna be at least a challenge 2 to open it on your own.
That's fine. Dallas is actually pretty good at physique.
Oh, is he a strong little mo?
Yeah, he works out.
I mean, it is on a track. It's not like you're trying to roll like the barrel away from. Okay, so you met it. So you struggle some. There's a little bit of a struggle, but you do manage to
Probably
finally
slightly more hindrance than help.
This is for the news.
Yep, oh, the news, and you watch as the door like. Yeah. And it rolls smoother as you get like farther along, and the morning light pours into a empty giant warehouse that is large enough, if it at one point, to house something like a train car. There is nothing here. It is empty completely, except for the skylight windows that are beaming solid chunks of light in.
Dallas is going to go ahead and step in and take a good look around. See if he can investigate anything, perhaps.
The door's big enough to fit a vehicle through, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Bernie's gonna go in, like, turn on the headlights to just.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, you like
Alright.
roll in. It's very, like, as you guys continue to add light to the space and he rolls in, what you actually notice is his tire tracks picking up large amounts of dust off the ground and leaving like solid tracks. And as you see it, you also begin to notice there are footprints everywhere, as if there had been a crowd of people. Yeah.
Stop!
Stop it.
Look at the floor. Look at it. Do you see? Do you see?
There are people here.
Yes.
Hmm. Alright.
Jennifer's gonna sort of like look at the tracks and see if she can work out what brand of shoes it is.
Oh. Very nice. That's probably, I would actually give you that as like a lore roll if you wanted to take it like lore of fashion. But you could also roll an investigation. I'm not sure exactly what is
They're
on
both,
yours.
they're both average, so
Okay, cool. I'll let you pick whichever one you want.
please don't roll shit.
Ah, at a 0. Well, the good news is you stare at a lot of shoes. You can't tell any specific designer fashion because there are so many footprints. Again, as if there were a lot of people here, groups of them.
These are definitely shoes.
Yep, men and women. You see both high heels and like loafers almost, or dress shoes in some way.
Possibly cross dressers.
But that's about
Possibly.
All right, I would like to use a stunt.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's called the power of deduction.
Ah, okay.
Now, I don't understand a lot of what is described in here, but I like it, so I took it. It's said, once per scene, you can spend a fate point and a few minutes of observation to make a special investigate roll representing your potent deductive faculties. For each shift you make on this roll, you discover or create an aspect on either the scene or the target of your observations, so you may only invoke one of them for free.
Okay. All right. Well, go
Don't
ahead.
know what that means.
Yeah,
but I like
it's
it.
cool. Yeah, that's great. Let me. I'm actually gonna pull it up so I can read your character sheet, and I can make sure I walk us through that all those different pieces. But that's a great one. So this is called Power of Deduction. So so you're gonna spend a fate point, and you're gonna use this special investigate roll. So you can roll it.
Okay.
So basically, you're just gonna do a flat investigation roll. A shift is a point. Is kind of how they. So like 1, 2, 3. Each one of those is a shift per se. So
Okay.
go ahead and make the investigation roll. Let's see how many of those deductive faculties you get.
All right.
3. Very nice. So for each shift you make on this roll, you discover or create an aspect. So the first thing that you discover when you begin roaming about is that this is not... You almost do that thing from Princess Bride where you like put your feet in it and begin trying to like figure it out. This was...
I want to be real ridiculous with this. I want to like listen to the tire tracks. I want to...
Yeah, you like get down and you...
Taste a power box. Just I see.
You look up and you know there has been a scuffle here. An alleyway brawl, but not in an alleyway. Between Anchormen.
There was combat here. There was a misplaced alley fight.
What?
Anchorman here.
Why would they have it in a warehouse where the suits are? That's sacred ground.
What? Yes, the suits could get
Not an alley?
damaged.
I'm going to give you an aspect. This will be a fun one. The aspect is I smell with my taste. So you now can figure, like, basically it's an extra deductive reasoning. So by doing this, it's like almost like heightened your skills to the level of like Sherlock Holmes. You now can taste things or and vice versa. Smell and taste basically are interchangeable for you. And it basically, if you use it on an investigation, you'll get a +1. So it's just kind of a little aspect you can play on there. And we're actually going to create an aspect now for the scene. So what we call a situational aspect, and I'll add it to roll 20 so that you guys can see it. So we already had one aspect that I just kind of dropped in there, which is the docks are empty. I pulled up, I said that, or that they left, so you guys were standing on the docks alone. We'll call this one, here but not here. The Anchormen have been here, but they're not here anymore. And you can use that aspect to your advantage, as you see fit.
So they were all definitely here. I believe this is where they were taken.
Then where were they taken to?
I don't think there was ever actually a suit sale here.
No. Why would you advertise a suit sale and not have it?
For the specific reason of capturing Anchorman.
This is the work of someone ultimately evil.
Ultimate evil.
Beyond this sort of extreme evil.
This level of deception is just inhuman.
Should I turn the car off because there's probably some exhaust building up in here, and I don't want it to fall unconscious.
I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick.
Okay, I'll wrap it up some. Get some more exhaust fumes
Well,
up
all
in
this
town.
smells like the
also it's
war.
because the emotional.
Quite
what?
enjoying
Also
it,
the
actually.
exhaust. It's
Yeah.
a lot of things.
This cocaine is very good.
It was crunchy.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't expecting to be so crunchy.
You're not, dear, no, you're not supposed to. It's
I'll
not
be right
sherbet.
back. I need to do something.
It's not sherbet, dear. It's not sherbet.
It's really hard to inject.
It's about this time that some kind of, like a few crates in the corner that were just stacked, one of them gets knocked over as if something bumped it. It's about 25 or 30 feet out from you.
I will
Turn
investigate.
the lights.
I will walk in the direction of the sound.
You begin to hear a very faint, like,
What's that? Is that whimpering? Who's whimpering? Stop whimpering.
and as you get closer, you see that there is a boy, a young boy. Some might call a newspaper boy. He's got a little cap on, and his bag still hangs from his side with all his newspaper stuffed in it. And he like backs up from you in the corner. He goes, "Please, please, 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 don't hurt me, 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 don't hurt me."
A paper boy. The larval stage of my enemy. What are you doing here?
He says, I was here, and then I was just trying to, I just saw things.
Get yourself
Someone
together.
talk to this child.
And he's like shaking and whimpering.
I'm gonna go up to him and just like offer him some tequila and just be like, there, dear. Just drink this. You'll be fine. Take it.
He's like 13 years old. He's like, okay. And he like sips some and like spit takes it out everywhere. And he says, you don't understand.
I'm going to try and soothe him, be like, there, small, sticky child. I'm going to use my empathy to try and be like, there, small child. It's fine. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Just.
They took
Yeah,
them. They took all the Anchormen. And he like yells
Where
out.
did they take them? Where did they take them?
I don't know. They just came in and they closed all the doors. They put bags over their heads and then they drug them out into vans.
Why would they cover their faces? The
I
monster.
don't
That's the only good part of them.
Unless. No. There is only one news source that doesn't have a face.
Actually, I think there's a few. Aren't there a few?
No, because
No.
One.
no.
You get pictures at least in the paper.
Oh.
In the paper, you have a little bio picture that they put there where they try to look pretty, but obviously can't. But on the radio, there is no picture. There is no face.
Panicked boy, tell us more about these people.
They just
Yes.
they
Say it on camera too.
whoa well they came in.
Wait. I'm gonna powder his nose a little bit. Just be like,
Yeah, that make he looks a little
Hold on,
too.
there we
yeah.
go. Just a little.
Dallas Jackson here
There you go.
reporting
Right.
live. We have a very small.
I've just got my hand on his collar out of shot.
Get the whiskey out of the shot, please.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Wait, I gotta say action first, Dallas.
Oh,
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
All right. Ready?
All right. Ready?
All right. Action.
Dallas Jackson here live on the scene. We have a small child, sticky small child, who works for the news. You know it's not too late, right?
for what? What's this stuff?
Ask about the kidnapping.
Oh, right, the kidnapping.
Oh God, they took the Anchorman! And he starts sobbing
Which way
again.
did they go? Which way?
That way!
Point with your news fingers. Can you tell us anything about maybe the vehicles they took them away in?
They came in and they put bags over their faces and then they put them in vans and drove away.
My God.
The kidnappers, were they handsome?
They had black robes on and you couldn't see their faces.
Black
Black
robes.
robes.
Like ropes?
Judges?
What material?
Was it silky? Tell us if it
Black.
was silky.
It's suede.
Was it
it-
sackcloth?
Oh.
It's
Judges don't wear sackcloth.
Was it stiff or was it flowing? Did it have a hem? Was there any kind of edging or piping or anything? You must realize. Come on, it's important.
they were long and they had big sleeves and hoods and they were tall. They were adults.
Did they have deep, suave voices, or did it say dude and guy a lot? Maybe groovy.
Yeah, that one.
They said groovy.
He said groovy.
Hippies.
I'm actually okay with hippies. I don't know about you.
How could you be okay with the people who
no.
did this?
Wait.
Well,
cut.
not these
Hey,
people.
don't say that on the air.
Painfully.
I'll rewind it. We'll tape over it later on. I mean, just
Please edit that out.
yeah. I got it.
Can I go now? I still have to
No.
take
Here's the
Get the
scissors.
child's
Here's the
name.
scissors.
papers to the route.
Small child, what is your name?
I'm Billy.
Billy what?
Billy Bigsby.
Billy Bigsby.
Yeah.
That's very alliterative of you.
Dallas is gonna kneel down next to Billy. Like, Billy, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get the news back.
Really?
All right?
What
We are.
happens if the Anchormen don't come back?
It will.
Well,
Well, don't you worry about that, Nan. Don't you worry about that, and also sign this release.
Oh,
yes.
okay. He
Sign that, please.
signs his name. He says, I can go now.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I see you are a paper boy, yes?
They pay me $25 every day.
Listen to me. Do you want to be a lowlife, or do you want a chance to be something more? Something like a god?
Like a Like an anchor man?
Something like that.
Dallas is going to put his hand on the boy's shoulder. Yes, like an Anchorman.
But aren't you just the production team?
Just a production team.
Dallas.
Just.
But we've been trained to recognize greatness.
Oh.
Did we
You
just
do
save
have a
you?
very strong jaw.
And alliteration in his name.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
Oh.
very important.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Could he be the chosen one?
There's a chosen one?
We don't speak of that, chosen.
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
Well, what do I do?
You'll know when the time comes. But for now, we must be away. In that direction you pointed earlier, that we definitely saw.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We got it on film.
Black vans. They were in black vans.
Black fans.
And they said groovy.
They said groovy.
Wait.
Okay, I can go now. I'm gonna
Yeah, I think you can go now.
be late to school. And he you hear the patter of his Converse as he rounds the corner, and you see him ride off on a bike with his newspaper bag still in his hands. And a newspaper drops out of it, kind of flops to the ground with today's news. And he scutters off. You hear the spinning of his bike wheels. And once again, you stand on these empty kind of docks.
I'm going to retrieve the newspaper and just sort of.
Oh, you're touching that thing.
We must use every advantage right now, darling.
Oh.
What's the headline?
The headlines for today's story is fashion show gone awry. Firecrackers in high heels.
Firecrackers in high. What does that even mean?
You flip open, and it's a story about some hooligans that put firecrackers in the high heels of these high-end fashion models and ruined their walk across the stage, forever maiming their feet.
Those monsters.
I don't think this is getting us anywhere. Dallas is going to take the newspapers from Jennifer's hands.
Take the crossword for me.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Okay.
I feel dirty. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have.
Dallas hands the crossword section over to Mr. King. Anybody else want anything? From this
can't
before I
believe
tear it up?
I need the obituaries to make sure I'm not in them.
All right, and maybe some of your friends who are.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
they've
you're
already
Actually,
been in the
is there the fashion pages anyway?
Oh, hold on.
Lifestyles in there, yeah.
Yeah.
He hands out the lifestyles, the obituaries. Matthias, you want anything on this?
I'll take the funnies.
Okay. He hands the funnies. Now, after that,
Family
is
circle.
everybody happy? Everyone has what they want.
Wait. Nine across. Something that sucks. Oh, newspaper. Okay.
Ha! And with that, Dallas is going to rip up the newspaper. Take that!
I spray it with my stuff.
And throw it up like it's confetti.
Hooray!
Let's investigate stuffs.
I'm going to make
Yes.
one more pass around the warehouse and see if any of the dirty hippies dropped any of their dirty hippie things.
Yeah. Leaving a trail. So
Well, they're not the most cleanly of people.
they
so-
are not. Why don't you? I am going to have you roll me an investigation on this as well.
Sure, my pleasure. Just a moment. Where am I? There I am. Another 3.
Wow. Out of 3, you guys watch as Matthias begins kind of scouting the exterior. There's about 8 feet between the edge of this wall of the warehouse and the edge of the actual dock that drops into this bay. And as you begin to scout around, you see where the vans pulled up and surrounded the place. You can see their tire marks as they slid in. And you begin using deductive reasoning. It looks like there were about 3 vans. You can't really tell, like, Ford or any of that, but you can tell they are similar in size probably to what cargo vans or what you guys are using to get around. And as you scour out of 3, you do in fact find something. A pin. A button.
Does it smell of patchouli?
In fact, it is a pin for a local radio station.
Plot. How thick it becomes.
How thick does it become? It's one of the FM stations, actually, and it's a news station to town. One that plays what's considered classic rock and roll, I guess, for the time. 102.9.
102.9.
What did you find?
Is that the classic? Well,
Clue. I'll
that's
toss
the
him the
classic
pin.
rock station. Yes.
If they're not involved with the culprits, they know them.
Well, rockers and hippies tend to hang out together, do they not? Woodstock, all that.
I'm
Rockers
sure that
lead
no.
to hippies.
It's like a gateway drug, yes.
Yeah.
One minute you're all
Yeah,
like, oh,
I see.
leather and denim, and then the patchouli gets you, and the next thing you know, you're all paisley and brown cords and
Bell bottoms
nothing
that
wrong with
aren't on
bell-bottoms.
sailors.
But we
I
do
don't
know
know.
that it's a
I've had
direction.
some quite fun with bell bottoms that haven't been on sale. Sailors that haven't had bell bottoms. And... Oh yeah.
All right.
Bless Her Majesty's Royal Navy.
No. All things aside,
Oh,
I know. I'm now going to say words that I have waited 17 years to say. Let's go beat the hell out of the radio.
And at that, as you guys once again do your power jump forward, as frames are cut, and you have that pause in midair, we cut to the puttering of the van as it pulls up outside. I'm guessing you guys are headed to 102. What did I say? 102.5? 102.9. 102.9 WMGK. Do you have it on the radio as you travel?
We need to do some recon work.
Yeah, you like pull it in, and sure enough, it's playing some good old I guess classic rock on the radio.
Black Sabbath? Is that's 70s, right?
I was about to say yeah, but I don't know if they can consider that classical. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
Music
I think
plays.
like a Steels and Nash kind of thing. There's probably some like acoustic with some rock, like
Maybe some Rolling Stones 60s.
maybe some Rolling Stones but the radio plays and the song ends to the kind of raspy sound coming through the other side. It's like, hey there, Philadelphia, this is DJ Mary Jane. Welcome to 102.9. I hope it's classy out there for you.
does have a very silky smooth voice.
It seems to be potentially a woman, in fact, and she says, "I hope."
She has a very.
She has a.
It's a
Yeah.
very deep voice.
She says, "I hope that your day's groovy."
Does she have kind of a Janis Joplin thing going on?
Yeah, probably a little wasted. And she says, next up here on 102.9, we've got the news. Not that anybody cares. No, okay. Yeah, right. This button. And you kind of hear her in the background as she tries to figure out which button she needs to press to actually change it over.
So unprofessional.
And another song kind of starts up in the background, and commercials will play. It's about the time the commercials come on that you gear up, and Bernie, make me a drive. Every time you get in a car.
We're gonna
She
try.
confessed. She confessed in front of the entire city.
Poor woman. She must be
She
so
has the
ugly.
news.
She must be so ugly to be on the radio.
Out of 5, like a champ. Just slide into a parking spot that doesn't even exist. The van tires like tink the edge of the sidewalk as
That's
it
why we
runs.
don't need a new van, damn it. I hop out.
Good job, Bernie.
It's actually a very small old storefront that has been converted, and you can see the very, very sketchy satellite or antenna system that has been rigged up by a bunch of probably wasted hippies on the roof. As you come in the front, there are unmatching couches everywhere. The air smells of patchouli and BO. And there's a strange layer of dust, smoke dust that sits everywhere. There's a single desk where a very long-haired man sits face down. And it looks like the back room is actually what's been converted. What was probably like a single office type place has been converted, and a glass window has been put in, and you can see this woman, big fro, giant glasses, and she sits toking on something back there as she flips a switch and the on-air sign bings on. A small snore is heard from the long-haired man at the desk.
Well, before we get too far, before we enter the building, are there garages? Any places where you could park, say, 3 black vans?
In this area? Let's see. As you look around, not really. This seems to be a more impoverished side of Philadelphia. Most of the buildings are run down. Old hotels and things, but it looks relatively quiet for 9 a.m. Well, at this point, it's more like 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. The cars that drive through here all but are held together with, duct tape and hope. And there are no garages in eyesight that you can, just peer down the street. You don't see any place that looks like a garage, necessarily.
Okay, so this is not a standalone building? It's
it seems
part
to be
of a
attached.
strip?
Yeah, a strip. And there's, an old movie theater down at the end that's run down. Think probably New York Harlem. That same very style of just run down area.
I kind of lean over and I say, so we're trying to find black vans, correct? Well, hear me out. The kids said they were in black vans. Hippies don't normally wear shoes, but when they do, what brand is usually on their feet?
I'm sure I wouldn't know. Is it?
Do I look like a hippie?
Oh, is it Dr. Martens?
No. They're vans. They came out in the 60s. When they wear shoes, it tends to be something funky bullshit like that.
Birkenstocks?
Flip-flops.
I'm sorry, if it's not
It's
Italian
not
leather,
really
I'm
a
thinking
shoe.
of
It's not really a shoe, okay? Those toes are showing.
Isn't Dallas actually a hippie in disguise?
Yes.
He's probably owns a pair of
time he's
flip-flops.
been very awkward about not yes. I mean, who would know exactly what hippies would wear? I certainly
filth, I suppose.
I don't know anything about free love or speaking out against a man, right? Who knows anything
They wear
about
lots of
that?
sandals, right? Birkenstocks and things.
Mostly sandals,
Yes.
loose shirts.
Don't you have some fairly loose shirts?
No, of course not.
They're loose after you're done with them, Jennifer. I mean,
Listen,
Nothing is loose after I am done with it, thank you very much.
Oh, damn.
You
most
should
things
remember
will stay
that.
on when she's done with
I
them.
roll the window back up.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I'll lean the chair back so I can't be seen.
There is a chance that when we go in here, me and the old Bernie here may have to use our secret weapon. If it comes to that, if I point like this, all of you put your fingers in your ears and don't listen. Do you understand?
Yes, I think I do.
Right then, yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Now, hold on, Dallas.
Yes.
What are you supposed to do when the sign happens?
You put your fingers in your ears.
No, what are you supposed to do?
I don't know.
I know. Oh, God.
You put your fingers in your ears.
Okay.
Say it.
I put my fingers
Mm-hmm.
in my ears. Of course I would do that. Because why would you want to listen to this filth?
When what happens?
When he gives the signal.
And what's the signal?
He's going to point to his eyes?
No.
No? He's going to point to his
Try
hat.
again.
His
Nope.
mustache.
No.
Sorry, could you maybe shred up like a teleprompter for him? May I hold it up?
I'll write you a cue card. Just a moment.
Okay.
pull out a piece of paper and a marker. Okay. And I'm just going to write the signal on it.
Nice. Yeah.
There. I'll hold this up when it's time.
All right.
Let's
Perfect.
practice. Rehearsal.
I'm completely not listening. I'm not listening at all to any dirty hippie music.
Okay, you can stop.
Beautiful acoustics that resonate out like a.
I'm going to flip the paper around and write stop on the other side and show him that side.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, all right. Anyways, how do they do?
That'll be fine.
You were wonderful, darling. You
That'll
were
do.
lovely. Fantastic.
All right. Look, let's get in there. Let's get our news back. Like thunder and lightning. Or
Yeah.
sleet.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yes.
large golf ball sized hail.
Ooh,
Let's just get in there.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
What? Golf balls?
Put your hands in. Everybody, come on.
Yeah, right here. There we go. Yeah.
Ready?
Hands in.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
News team.
Let's do this.
That worked.
In that like rise of the hands, you get that type spinning motion of the screen as it cuts to the interior of this makeshift radio station. That probably at one point was like a tax office or something like that. Just like a really small single lobby with one room in the back that has been converted. Like I said, the place is pretty disgusting. Bottles everywhere. It's clear that it's not really meant to have the public in it. It serves a single purpose. And one along the like left wall as you walk in is covered in records. Just egg crates and egg crates worth of them. We will what do you do? It's this like I said, this long-haired gentleman with the vest is fast asleep, snoring away at the desk.
I'm going to walk past.
Apparently not okay.
The on-air sign is currently on. They are broadcasting, if it makes a difference to you.
Are there speakers on this side? Can we hear what they're saying?
No, but it's funny. It's actually not a completely soundproof room. You can see her like talking and reading off a piece of paper, and you make out every couple words. You can tell that she has moved on to reading the news. Though she doesn't seem to care very much as she scratches things out as she goes. Like it seems there's, no, that's boring. Oh, looks like some fashion models lost their feet. Wicked. And she's like going down the line reading live.
Are there any other rooms, or is this pretty much the
It's
only?
the only one.
space?
She's not noticed you yet. And like I said, there's the guy next to you, but he does snore asleep.
Should we incapacitate this one just in case he wakes up and gets boisterous?
We should probably put some chips next to him.
What?
We should do the chip. Just saying.
Not a bad idea.
Some snacks.
So
Because
when he
we
wakes
guys
up,
Um,
yeah.
Probably very hungry.
You feed the animal, it becomes dependent on you. Good thinking, Dallas.
Exactly.
What?
Do we have any snacks?
Did we bring catering? I don't know if we brought them.
I probably have something somewhere. She opens her makeup bag and she's just like,
Let me go check the van.
yeah. I've got,
It doesn't really.
I'm sorry. Was this sleeping fellow in front of a desk?
Yeah, he's sitting in front of like a really old, probably maybe late 50s, early 60s desk. It's definitely just was left here from whatever the
I'm
business
going to
used
check
to
the
be.
drawers on this desk.
There's lots of paraphernalia in the top one. Mostly rolling papers and things, as glass was not popular in the 70s the way it is now. And as you continue to go through, you get to the bottom drawer that's supposed to hold filing cabinets, and there's like old beer bottles and some liquor in there.
I'll hand one of the bottles to our wardrobe lady.
Yeah, you like pull
Oh,
it out.
marvelous. Oh, ooh.
Right.
Ooh, that's the good stuff.
I
Marvelous.
have an idea. I have an idea.
Shocking. What is
But
it?
it's dangerous. We're talking about potentially unleashing a weapon of mass destruction.
What
with it?
exactly are you thinking?
we need one of you to go in that room and give her a cue card saying that it's time for her to interview me and Bernie.
No.
Yes.
You can't be
Yes.
You're going to go on the
ramifications-
radio?
What about the
Oh.
people driving?
What about
It's all
yourself?
damn fun for listening to the radio.
I will do it.
This will shut the radio down. They'll be held responsible for it.
Can't say I approve.
Wait, I need
We
to
need
blend in.
different
I
names.
understand.
I need
While
to
you
blend
do
in. I
that,
need
we
to-
can check
oh,
the other rooms.
I need to blend in.
Dallas, what
Oh.
other
Oh, I
rooms?
know. And I'll
Dallas?
Were
What-
there
what
other
other
rooms?
There are no other rooms in this place. It's
Oh.
literally just the one in the back. It's like one of those it's like an old tax office where you just walk in. It's one space in a back office. That's
Do you
it.
I
see
thought you said there
rooms
was
that
another
I don't
room.
see, Dallas? Was that part of your weather
I
powers?
might be seeing things.
Oh, did you mix the brown stuff with the white stuff earlier?
The crunchy stuff with the stuff you're supposed to smoke, or was it?
Oh.
Okay, no, that explains it.
That.
I'll look to
Did you have
Jennifer.
Did you have any of the ketamine as well?
I'm gonna sit down next to this reindeer, and I'm gonna tell it what I want for Christmas.
That's lovely, dear. You just.
That's
you just do
what I'm
that.
gonna do.
Just remember. Just.
Is it
just
is it
remember.
talent? Is that what you want?
There you go. Right.
I need
Um,
woozy. I woozy.
Jennifer, what if you get your fabric shears, take that guy's hair, wear it as your own, and then you can blend in.
Or I could just take his jacket
Or you can take the jacket. I mean, that works too.
and the hair.
And
Okay. Yes. Right. I think I can probably. I'm gonna
Jennifer,
sort of
don't,
like.
don't
work-
Miss Jones, you don't know where that hair's been.
I'm prepared to make sacrifices for the news.
You're very brave, and I respect it.
and she's also cleaning a damn hippie.
Are you gonna cut the hippie's hair?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna take his jacket off first. Does he wake up for this or?
Okay, actually, this might be a fun little roll. Let's say to avoid him waking up, you're going to need to roll. I'm gonna say this is actually a pretty high difficulty. This is going to be a difficulty level 3. This has got to be a good roll. And I think in this case, it's there's like a dexterity one. Actually, I would say this could be a physique. It's like a physique roll to make sure you can get it off of his body without waking him.
Honestly, if it seems that difficult, Jennifer would probably be like, I don't know
Wait,
if I can.
I think I can do this for you.
I'm good at undressing men. What?
Hold on.
Yes. Usually they're not unconscious.
I-
Well, not at this point.
well-
Hold on.
Okay, that's better. Honesty.
I usually just take the trousers off, you know.
Let me make sure there's not a better roll for that, but I think I'm gonna make it a physique. Let me just double check my list here of skills.
Yeah, because my physique is.
Because I'm
Good news,
So
everybody.
I
The
don't know
reindeer
if there's
name is
mechanical
Mr.
equivalents, but one of the things I would like to do is grab one of the booze bottles and prepare it to conk him on the head if he starts waking up.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you can kind of get in position just in case he wakes up. Like I said, she's stoned out of her gourd and is into whatever it is she's doing. Singing along now to the radio, toking away again at something. So she hasn't really noticed any of you. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to find what I'm looking for.
Sorry, I fucking love Janice.
I was about to say.
Anyway,
oh,
sorry.
right.
Oh, for good reason.
Yeah, yeah. Me and Bobby McGee plays on the radio. I think that was after 75, but that's okay. Yeah, my obsession with her is not healthy. Okay, so yeah, we'll make it a physique roll. Let's just do that because that's what I called first.
All right. Well, in that case, if you want to do the, I'll just be like, trousers, yes, jackets are foreign.
I'm gonna stand up, like get myself in order. Do one more pet to the imaginary reindeer. It's okay, Mr. Cloppers. I got it from here. I'm gonna go over to the.
The reindeer believes in you.
Yeah, and I'm going to smoothly take off this jacket.
Let us see it happen. At a 2. At a 2, you get the jacket almost entirely off of him, like right at the last second. But what you don't realize is that he has 2 braids. They're in like man pigtails. And one of them gets caught in the zipper, and you tug at the hair as you pull the jacket free. And he like, oh, wow.
Conk.
And you crack the glass, making a loud shattering sound as he goes limp. Nice. Out of 1. Yeah, that's about all you needed. He wasn't completely awake and had no idea where you were. Do you want to break the bottle, or are you trying to break the bottle over his head?
No, I'm not. I just want a nice conk.
Just a nice, yeah. So we'll say you don't like
Nice.
smash it as much as almost like pommel him a little bit in the back of the head with it. And he goes gunk back down and begins drooling again. There in there in the lobby. What do you do now?
All right, I'm going to put the jacket on.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look through the window, and I have slept with everyone.
Oh. Okay.
Do I recognize it? So I'm just like,
Is that one of your
Sorry.
aspects? Is that you've slept with everyone?
yes, Jaded Lovey who has slept with everyone.
So I'll let you use a fate point to get some information out of this. So since you have slept with everyone, it means that you are, in fact, Eskimo sisters with everyone. First off, you do know her, at least by rumor.
Carnally? Oh no, carnally.
Yeah, Connolly. Yeah, sure. She is a very spoken about and kind of promiscuous hippie in these here parts. She is actually known recently for dating a gentleman who likes to hang out at a local club. He runs it, in fact. Bell-bottom type, not quite disco, but as close as you can get without being able to claim your disco. Some shading things tend to go down there, but he has a VIP section that many of the Anchormen frequent.
Oh, she's dating. Do you remember that guy? He's got the club that all the Anchormen hang out with. You know, he's just got a funk club sort of thing. Remember that?
It's called Smell the Funk.
Smell the funk. Did you ever go, Dallas?
Yeah, and Dallas is actually looking at the hair from the hippie and having a bit of a flashback of his times.
You smelled
Yeah.
too much funk the last time you were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's dating him. Oh, I know her. Yes, I've had her and him.
Maybe
So
that's
you
where
might
they
be
are.
willing to do a favor for her. In a nightclub, you could hide an awful lot of Anchormen.
Indeed.
Well,
Or
do you
see-
want to take the note in and to get to interview her?
Yes, we must destroy the radio empire once and for
Oh.
all.
What was her name again? What was her name again?
She calls herself Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine. That was it. Right. Okay.
And you know this
Right.
because she has a tattoo, a small one, near her eye of a sunshine. Kind of
She's also
geometric.
got a much larger one of a reindeer on her ass. She used to be sort of a leitmotif. Anyway, right. Let's. So I'm just going to sort of quietly go in to sort of slip the card in front of her and leave again without saying anything. I'll just give her a little wink and then leave again.
And remind me again what exactly is on this card.
It's an introduction to an interview with Mr. King and Mr.
I
Burney.
see. She actually doesn't question you again. She's kind of, she just goes with the flow. DJ Mary Jane.
Showing whatever on the cue card.
And yeah, and she kind of pulls it in and goes, "Oh, thank you, strange person wearing Star Child's jacket." And she door closed behind her, and you watch her look at it and goes, "Wow, breaking news today. Looks like I get to interview somebody wicked."
I'll sort of open the door and just all usher the other two in and get them set up with headphones and things.
And she leans into the mic. "Well, don't look now, but it looks like they're squares. What's up, squares?"
Mr. King digs deep down inside himself back over 20 years ago in his life to his time as a baseball manager when he would have to do interviews for his baseball teams and stuff at that time on the radio. He digs real deep and finds this dark part of him that he had not tapped into for a long time. And suddenly just busts out, "Hello there, Sonny. I'm Mr. King."
Right. Well, this card tells me that I'm supposed to interview you. What's so special about you, King?
Well, Sonny, I'm glad you asked that question. Me and my friend Bernie here are here to share a story with you.
Wow.
Jennifer, Dallas, brace yourselves. This is a dark and majestic moment in history.
Wow.
I hold up the signal sign.
Oh.
So Bernie,
Yeah,
do you remember that time over 20 years ago when there was the battle of the radio stations in New York? You remember that?
Oh, yes, I remember when those radio stations, they were just fighting for the airwaves. This is the FM Royale is what they called it. Oh, jeez, what a wonderful day that was.
You had those two guys, they ended up wrestling on top of the Empire State Building for over 30 minutes.
Oh, and they covered every single one. You couldn't fit all the microphones up there. There's just not enough room.
Unbelievable. They ended up dangling from 3 microphones over the edge of the building. And sure enough, it was the inspiration for King Kong.
Yeah, it was the longest boom mic I had ever seen. It stretched all the way up there from the street. But, geez, they made it work, because back then, there was some actual character going on in these broadcasts. Well, faceless men and women.
Yeah, so basically, Mr. King and Bernie continue this ramble of this story for a very long time. And as they do this, we're going to use a stunt
God.
flashback. When in a room with Bernie and a shared story is told, there's a flashback scene, and everyone must make a will save or fall asleep. And they're broadcasting this over the radio.
Yeah, okay. So she's going to make that roll. I'm gonna say, in this case, just because we need to set a number for it, it is going to have to be a great, which means you have to roll a 4. This person has to roll a 4 to be able to beat it. I believe that's my scale, right? Great, yeah. So, she's probably not going to do so hot at this.
She's already pretty stoned.
Roll yeah. I'm gonna say probably in terms of her will. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that backwards.
A lot of pizza her way.
Yeah, right. She did roll a 3. There's something about it, but she can't quite hold on. She begins talking. You've heard it first here on WCAU.
I'm going to stare out the door into the streets and say a silent prayer.
Waiting for cars to just start flying off the road.
And as she begins to fade away, you see, you guys are still on air. Do you say or do anything? Are you flipping it off? Are you coming off air?
I would say they kind of pause a minute, and then Mr. King's gonna grab the microphone and say, "You radio monsters, if you are still listening to this, the real news has struck its true blow, and we're coming for our Anchormen." And then he'll just rip the microphone like off of the wire and throw it across the room.
And there's almost like a zoom-in cutscene as the plug gets ripped from the wall along with crappy drywall and things, smashes the camera into darkness. And this is where we are going to take our break. So yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a tenor, and we will come back now with Mr. King having announced his threat over the radio waves. Make sure to hang around here for a little bit after these, commercial breaks. Also, we are not sponsored by any of these people. Okay, cool. Here we go.
If you believe in magic, then I've got a place for you.
There's fun at every table with tricks by you know who. There's lots of tasty food. The Duke of Down might be there too. You can enjoy a magic meal and sit on magic feel while Burger King makes magic.
I doubt it.
That'll sweet you off your feet. Yeah, magic makes it special when you're with Burger King.
My American Eagle can go just about anywhere under the sun. Anywhere. Come on.
Eagle's automatic four-wheel drive gives me the confidence to take the family to the beach the hard way. Eagle even hauls my boat out of this. Now, I wouldn't try that in an ordinary compact. Eagle's four-wheel drive automatically directs power for the traction to get out where there's nothing but woods, and occasionally another Eagle.
The Eagle has landed on all fours at American Motors.
Come get in. Something to drink. 2 weeks in the desert and you bring us beer? We want something special. Bull. Bull? The Schlitzmalt Liquor Bull. It is a special premium brew that's in a glass by itself.
What extraordinary taste. Gunga Din, how can we repay you?
Well, Sahib, I do take all major credit cards.
If you want to change your taste, don't say beer, say bull. Bull. The Schlitzmalt Liquor Bull.
There's a certain feeling you get right after a foamy shave when your mirror tells you you're gonna look like Mr. Terrific all day. That's the foamy feeling. And it comes from that clean, close, foamy shave. Come on, get Gillette Foamy. It's the only way to get that foamy feeling.
It's no problem getting the redness out of my eyes. All these drops work just fine. They all soothe and clear my eyes. The problem is getting the drops in. So for me, it's Ocusol, because Ocusol's little nose bridge makes it easy. It helps steady my hand, so ta-da, feels nice. The big difference in eye drops is Ocusol's little nose bridge, because you can't get the redness out till you get the drops in.
When American Motors introduced the Gremlin, people found out that it doesn't cost a lot of money to own a car that's fun to drive. The idea has spread all over the country. The Albuquerque 8. The Wichita Wiggle. The Tallahassee Two-Step. The Boston Bounce. The Chicago Shuffle. Six months ago, coming out with a car the size and price of the Gremlin was a gamble. But American Motors took it. If you had to compete with the three biggest car companies in America, what would you...
It's the one on your mind. It's the one of a kind. A Milky Way bar wherever you are.
Real milk chocolate. Chewy caramel. Luscious nougat.
So wherever you're going, you're never outgrowing your love for the taste of a Milky Way. At work, rest or play, Milky Way, Milky Way.
It's working! It's working! What now, Ralph? My new hot dog machine. It'll make our Franks in half the time.
Mom says Eckrich Franks are always meaty and delicious because we take the time to trim our meat by hand.
This is faster.
Ralph, no shortcuts, no cereal fillers either.
Eckrich means good meat from the heartland, and the secret ingredient is Mom.
We could mow the lawn with it.
Behave, Ralph.
It doesn't add up, Sam.
Yeah, this is chocolate and caramel, but how could it be crunchy? Crunchy! Oh, sweetheart, we're gonna blow the lid off this cake.
There's something hidden here inside this Twix bar. Look, under thick milk chocolate, under golden caramel, a cookie. A crunchy cookie.
I knew you could do it.
Tastiest case I ever cracked.
Oh, Sam.
Twix cookie bars, chocolate, caramel, and a surprising cookie crunch.
Kids, we know that going to Sandy's is a lot of fun. But did you ever take a really close look inside? Here's where they make the hamburgers. And here's the thick shake machine. Wow, look at those crispy fries. Just looking around Sandy's is so much fun. It's almost as good as eating. Almost.
Sandy's puts the fun into eating out.
From all over the neighborhood, Adventure Team members and equipment arrived at the opening of G.I. Joe headquarters. Flash, a radio message from the tower. Adventure Team member caught in quicksand. Get the maps. Here's the location. Get going, Joe, and good luck. Back in the tower, Joe signals, help on the way. We'll help get there in time. Create your own adventures. G.I. Joe Adventure Team headquarters. G.I. Joes and ATVs sold separately.
Cut. Reload. That's a complicated looking machine, isn't it?
Funny thing is, a lot of people still think that taking home movies is that complicated, too. If that were true, believe me, I wouldn't take them. For instance, he's reloading the film. Let me show you how easy Kodak has made it for you and me with a Kodak Instamatic movie camera. You finish one roll of film, drop another one in, you're all set. How are you doing, Charlie? Taking home movies couldn't be much easier than that, could it? You know, now is the time to start, too. When the kids are growing up, you're on your vacation, save the action and the color in movies. With Kodak projectors, movies are easy to show, too. And cameras start at less than $35. Actually, you know what Kodak does for you?
See this? It's Planters potato chips. So now there's 2 stackable potato chips in town. We asked people who tasted both, which one tastes better?
Planters taste better. It's just good. I can't explain it to you. You gotta taste it. And you gotta try it, and you gotta experience it before you understand what I'm talking about. And it's Planters. I'm not lying.
When the chips are down, people prefer Planters.
Well, I ought to be an expert. I eat snacks all the time.
Honeycomb presents Billy Big and Crunch Crunch.
Okay, here we go. I'll give it
I want a big cereal.
And I want a crunchy cereal.
There's no need to fight. Big Honeycomb is just right. It's real big.
And it makes a big crunchy noise inside your head.
Post Honeycomb cereal's part of a balanced breakfast.
Now we got Honeycomb, the big cereal.
With a big crunch, thanks to Billy Big and Crunch Crunch.
Our dog Tippy had to spend a few days with the Morley's dog so she'd be able to have puppies. But frankly, I was afraid she hadn't eaten. She'll stomp off and pout if it doesn't come out of a can. She ate Gainsburgers, but she never...
This is new improved Gainsburgers. It's moist and meaty, but now it tastes even better than before.
She loves it.
Well, mothers always know best.
New improved Gainsburgers dog food. Now it tastes even better than before.
Fruity little Skittles are fun to chew. Some for me and some for you. Hi, Bill. Hi, Suzanne. What are you doing? I'm eating Skittles Fruit Chews. I crunch the outsides and chew the insides. They feel real good in my mouth. Yeah, they taste all fruity. I love the colors. Lemon, orange, brown, strawberry, lime, purple. Give me an orange one. Fruity little Skittles are fun to chew. Some for me and some for you.
Attention, shoppers. The new Atari cartridge game is in.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh. George again.
Atari's ASC battle. It comes with 27 games, but that's just for starters. You can get 9 cartridges, 187 games. Blackjack.
I'd like an Atari.
Sorry, only our demonstrators left.
Mine!
No, George. Mine.
The new video computer system by Atari. More games, more fun.
Just because I'm me. Just because I'm me. I deserve Sara Lee.
Sara Lee All Butter Chocolate Cake. Made with creamery butter, fresh eggs, whole milk, and the finest imported Dutch chocolate. Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee chocolate cake.
Just because I'm me.
I deserve Sara Lee.
Sara Lee, you deserve it too.
It's Charmel. He'll eat all the bones.
Unless I get a juicy burger that tastes chop-broiled. Let's say hello to Hardee's.
Hello, Hardee's. Well, hello, Hardee's.
Juicy burger tastes chop-broiled.
Hardee's, you saved all the votes.
When you buy a burger and a soft drink at Hardee's, you get a special coin to put in the fun machine.
What you get? I've got a great ring. I got a charm for a necklace.
The fun machines, always at participating Hardee's.
AMF took 10 of its lightweight Roadmaster bicycles to Willow Springs, California, and road tested them. Roadmaster. Road tested for performance. Roadmaster. Road tested for maneuverability. Roadmaster. Road tested for durability and reliability. Roadmaster. Road tested from AMF.
Yoo-hoo! Whipple!
Uh-oh, Hoffmeyer.
I
letting them squeeze the Charmin in my store.
Hoffmeyer, are you crazy?
Ladies, measure how big and fluffy Charmin is.
Big and fluffy. Charmin's so squeezably soft, it's irresistible.
Please, don't squeeze the Charmin. Hoffmeyer, in my store, nobody squeezes the Charmin.
Nobody but you.
Hypocrite.
Charmin, so big.
Hello! We are back with Fate of the Anchormen. For those of you that stuck around through the 70s commercials, God bless your brain and your soul, because it probably ate away a little bit of both. So yeah, welcome back. If you're just now joining us, welcome to my channel. I am Little Red Dot. For the month of October, every Wednesday night, right here on my channel starting at 7 o'clock, we are going to be playing a 4-episode campaign of an original game that I've written using Fate Core. If you're not familiar with Fate Core, don't worry. A lot of the people here at the table are also learning, so we'll make sure that you get caught up lickety-split. But in fact, if you are enjoying this show and have come back for more, which God bless your soul again for that, you should know that during the month of October, I'm raising funds to actually publish Fate of the Anchor. I'm going to be calling it Fate of the Anchormen, but Fate of the Anchormen will be published. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a copy, you can help with the upfront cost by simply donating a cup of coffee via my Ko-Fi. Every person that donates a cup of coffee in the month of October immediately gets a PDF as soon as it is ready. So you too can bring the Anchormen or the production crew to your table. Other than that, remember that you can affect the game by donating other ways, such as giving bits, and there are lots of different options. You can click that link right there, or you can scroll down to the bottom and see the different ways that you can give all kinds of things, from random scenarios to bad guys and NPCs to fate points, to both myself as the GM as well as the cast. All right, let's hop right back in to this little here 70s shenanigans that we have found ourselves in. So, very, very quick little recap. We last saw all of you standing inside a rundown radio station, really. Makeshift, we'll even call it, by 2 hippies, one of which is now very quickly asleep thanks to the bottle to the back of the head. The other one just couldn't withstand the storytelling powers of Mr. King and Mr. Burney combined. But neither could a lot of the city of Philadelphia, as you were live. But it was some information you found down at the docks, where you traced the invitation for a suit sale, hoping to find the lost Anchormen, but unfortunately no. What you found was a button for this radio station, and that is how you have made your way here. Last we heard, Mr. King made a pretty bold announcement to the public of Philadelphia. It is about 10 a.m. on a Monday morning, or almost 11 a.m. on a Monday morning, which means the radios are blasting throughout offices and cars throughout the city. And remind us again, Mr. King, what were the wise words that you tossed out at us?
Basically something along the lines of like, it's like, we've taken down your radio empire, and we're coming for our Anchormen. Before ripping the microphone like out of the wall. And as the microphone rips from the wall, so do a few other cables, some things like spark, and the kind of poorly put together sound system and board that runs up the wall through some cables that have clearly, like there's a hole been drilled in the ceiling that feeds to the antenna onto the roof, begins to catch fire. Oh, that's right. Dallas and Jennifer stand their fingers in ears.
Is it? Are we? Oh. Ah, it's a firestorm!
Oh, what?
The fire is beginning to grow on the panel.
I take out the camcorder.
This got out of hand. Hold on.
Wait, I think no, wait,
I want to see. No, you need to leave because you will burst in all that hairspray.
I'm going to remove the lady hippie from the premises.
Great. Okay. Just, she's not terribly heavy, but do make me a physique roll just to make sure you don't throw your back out or anything.
Sure.
We should move a friend as well.
Yes, I'll get the friend.
You'll get the friend. You also roll a physique. Okay, no problem. You toss her over your shoulder. Toss him over your shoulder.
Oh, right, okay.
Someone should probably call the fire services. Well,
Yes,
buildings adjacent to this one that aren't radio related might get damaged, and that's
yes, there was a phone box just on the street. I'll go and call 911. Yes.
Yes. So, totally random side note. I learned that in the UK they don't dial 911. You guys dial 666 or something like that. 999? 999. That's it. I knew it was 3 numbers. I didn't know what it was. I was playing a game and I was in Britain. And I was like, I dialed 911. Everybody was like, no, you don't. I also made a comment that I feel it was a different game. Oh, that's right.
The cops with the guns.
The cops with the guns, and you're like, police in the UK don't carry guns. It's like, oops, I'm such an American.
Yeah, unless you're at an airport or I don't know, outside Downing Street or something.
Yeah, no, they. I was quickly corrected.
Yeah.
That being said,
they got truncheons and pepper spray.
Yeah, you do pick up the phone. You get a dial tone, and the voice of an operator. Operator, how can I help you?
Oh, hello. I'd like to. Oh, wait. No, wait. I'm going to put a handkerchief over the over the thing.
Yeah.
Hello. I'd like to report a fire at the radio, the heavy metal radio station. What was the number of the radio station? Hang on, actually, I would remember. What's the number of the radio station?
102.9.
Oh, yeah, 102.9 on South Melburger Street and 4th.
I pray they weren't listening.
And she says, you said, I'm sorry, you're a bit a fire. Fire?
Yes.
Let me connect you. And she kind of connects you through, and she says, help is on the way. And you hear the line click, and she, plugs into a new area and transfers over. And the dial tone goes blank. She has taken your call, and she is passing it along to the fire station for you.
Oh.
Or to the police.
Okay. Lovely. Okay, right. I'm just going to check if I get any change back from the... I'm just going to sort of check for change in the thing.
No, there's an empty, dime bag.
Oh, no, fine. Okay, fine. Right, yes, I've called the fire brigade. God, this is thirsty work, isn't it?
Perfect. Now, leave the hippies in the trash where they belong, and then we should go check out that nightclub.
Yes, we're not going to get any more work here down in South Melburger Street.
Ugh, I hate South Melburger Street.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as North Melburger Street, but
Dallas is going to make sure that they're okay, both of them, as they're sleeping, but they're on the thing. As everyone's walking away, he takes one last look at probably a past he had with his with being a hippie at one point in his life. Just gonna go sleep well.
Dallas, they're on the sidewalk. It's probably the best bed they've had in months.
Yeah, Jennifer's just looking back and giving him somewhat of a measuring look, and just like,
what? Nothing. Come on, let's go. We don't have time for this.
No, we don't. No.
And as he says, we don't have time for this, the music pans in, and all of you load into the smelly news van, as the tambourines and the sound of the radio lead you down the Philadelphia roads. Where are you headed, Mister? Where is it? We said we're headed to smell the funk.
Smell the funk.
Smell the funk. Smell the funk is uptown. It's a snazzy, classy joint. Roll me a drive.
Let's see how well we go. And boop.
Ooh, a 5 again. All right. So he gets you there lickety split. You guys pass through little side alleyways, scratching the sides of the van as you go, bypassing traffic. As you pop out the other side and into a metered parking space out front of a much nicer side of town. Here you have storefront shops, movie. The movies are on the edge of the corner. There's no trash. And the vibe here seems to be funky and cool. Lots of disco, hair, bell-bottoms, glasses, and jewelry to match. And Mr. Bernie has parked you just up the block from, you can see it. It says, "Smell the funk," and a big sign that's kind of like lit up. It is, of course, 11 in the morning.
Wait. We need to blend in here.
Yes, you will stick out like a sore thumb.
I'll sort of reach into my makeup bag and just pull out 4 medallions.
I already have one. And Dallas is going to take out his lightning bolt medallion. And just like place it out over his chest. And unbutton his shirt a little bit lower. Don't worry.
Okay, well, in that case, I have just a thing for you. She's going to take out a large, ostentatious belt buckle.
Okay.
Yes. You'll need this. And then she'll hand around the rest of the medallions and put one on herself.
Yeah, you guys kind of like suit up. You probably touch your lips up to a brighter red, of course, and try your best to look the part. Dallas, you've been to this end of town before.
Oh yeah.
The Anchormen frequent this club as well as many, including a jazz club and some other stuff on this strip. The sign on the door says closed.
But the party never stops.
Even Funk has to sleep, yo.
No. Funk doesn't sleep. Funk never sleeps.
You seem to know a lot about Funk, Dallas.
No.
It does nap occasionally, though.
Yeah.
So it passes out quite often. Sometimes it falls asleep in the middle of... yes.
We'll check the door to see if it's
the one time. I don't know why
if it's actually locked. Yeah, you kind of tug at it. It does seem that it is locked. There, Matthias. It does like a little bit. It's got a small window, like a slide door on it. It doesn't seem to move. It's definitely closed up as if maybe this is an adult venue of some kind. No windows or anything that would make you or let you be able to see him.
Now, do I know if this place really does close around this time, or is it like there's no posted hours, just whenever they clean up, mop up all the party people and that kind of thing?
Well, Sunday's night is not really,
Right.
It's not really party night, but...
So this isn't completely unusual, is what you're saying?
No, I mean, it would close and probably open around dinner. But there is an alleyway that runs along the backside of this strip of... buildings and businesses, restaurants and the sort. You also know that the upstairs is a more private space. Occasionally you get have been invited with Dick Norton to this kind of penthouse apartment that sits on the upper floor that is owned by the same man that owns the venue downstairs.
So I'm going to check for any side or back doors.
Right. I'm going with Matthias on that.
Okay.
I'll go as well.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are able to easily kind of walk around the block. Nothing seems too out of place, day-to-day foot traffic, honking of horns. The back alleyway is pretty scummy. There's a dumpster and a homeless man. And there are individual doors, to the back sides of all of these businesses, and you kind of quickly find the one that leads to Smell the Funk.
Is it also locked?
It is not.
Interesting. I enter fearlessly.
As you push the door open, you almost clatter right into a very large man, probably maybe a bouncer of some kind. He stands
I close the door.
Yeah, okay. He's clearly standing there having a smoke break in the back hallway, and you almost like bam into him.
Wait.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that a bouncer? I can distract him.
Yes. I think this is now the perfect time to use your powers of seduction.
Well, I was going to offer
Yeah,
you a drink.
I think that was what she was saying.
Okay.
It's good to have you on board with the plan, though. Thank you.
Right.
If that doesn't work, I'll give it a shot.
Okay, right. So Jennifer's going to sort of like hoik up the girls and, just sort of like sashay in there and be like, oh, well, hello there, big boy.
He is a burly man. Past his
Aren't
prime,
you a
sweat
tall,
stains.
hairy drink of water.
Hey there.
Would you care for a drinky poos?
It's Monday
Maybe
morning. You drink
Yes?
on Monday morning.
Well, yes. Who doesn't?
I like your spirit, little one. And he snatches the bottle from you, takes a big puff off of his menthol, and unscrews
Now,
it. Like,
how about taking me around the corner and showing me a good time? Hmm?
he turns and like looks at you and he says, "That is a interesting proposition. I am on the clock though. I'm gonna.
Well, we can make it quick, you know.
I'm gonna need you to convince him of this.
Right.
It's not gonna take much, but I would say you're gonna need to roll a 2 to get him. You can either provoke him, or you can make it. I would let you make an empathy. It's kind of.
I'm going to take provoke because it's my best one.
Usually it's for provoking a fight, but in this case you're provoking him for arousal.
Well, yeah, you know, it's provoking him to do the
dirty,
the naked wrestling thing. Well, you know, let's face it, not particularly naked. Yeah. Okay, please don't.
Wow. He something about the short, sweet. He liked that idea of it being short and quick, and he says, "Quick, huh? Yeah. All right. Come on, let's go." And he goes to open the door back to the alleyway.
Oh no, not that way. I've got a thing for the bathrooms.
All right. I dig that. It's kind of freaky. All right. Yeah. And
lovely.
He puts his giant arm around your waist and almost like picks you up as he carries you down this very narrow hallway. There is a private bathroom, if you would, to the right, and you can see across the hall, just kind of out of your side eye, that clearly the main office and staircase that leads upstairs to the private apartment is all kind of back here in this back area.
If I'm being carried, I'll be like looking over his shoulder going...
Yeah, the door kind of like eeks open and you guys watch as she's like being carried around the corner pointing.
Are all of our heads stacked on top of each other as we look around the door?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, you guys are like bloop, 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 as you come around the corner kind of peering in. Now, I have to know, Jennifer, what is your plan? Are you gonna snog this gentleman?
I am gonna give him a good seeing to, yes. I mean, you know, why not make business impression?
Great. A good seeing to. If there was a performance check, I would let you roll it. Is there I don't think there is.
What about physique?
I would say, I will let you know what, I'll let you take either. You can take physique.
What about empathy?
Athletic or empathy. If you want to, so it depends on the kind of sex you want to have. Are you wanting to have really hardcore rough physique sex or athletic sex, or are you more into the he needs a little loving, which is the empathy side?
I'm going to distract the shit out of him. So,
okay.
You know,
Yeah, totally. So roll the empathy. At a 3. Not too bad. It's probably been a long time since he's had some real good empathetic loving. And he begins to blubber and cry in your arms.
Oh, there, dear. Fine. This happens all the time.
It's my mother's fault. And he sobs into you. Never probably actually ever getting his real pants off. As you guys, you guys can hear the strange blubbering cries of this large man. You're not sure if Jennifer did that to him or what's happening, but it is happening. And he seems rightfully distracted.
This happens to Jennifer a lot. It's just like, oh, here we go again.
She's a brave soldier and made a great sacrifice today. Let's get these Anchormen. Make it worth it.
Let's find the news.
All right. We begin our search.
You begin your search. As you begin your search, where exactly would you like to look? I guess is the better question.
Well, I guess everywhere until we find clues or a direction that would be better than other places.
Other places. So there, like I said, there's the one bathroom that they seem to be in, and they're crying in, and the other is there's his office. So we could have some people search the office, and you see the flight of stairs, which Dallas immediately recognizes, even in his multi-drunken stupor as he has passed through here multiple times. That leads to the private apartment upstairs. There's also a door at the kind of north end of the hallway, if you would, directly opposite of where you entered from the alleyway, that clearly goes into the club. more than likely the backstage area. Because there's, it's got a stage and those kind of things, a DJ stand. So this would lead into the main area of the club. This seems to be kind of the offices in the back area of it.
Bernie wants to go to the door for the main area of the club. Actually, he's going to run back out to the truck and get that old boom mic from before that he was dragging around.
Yep, it's there.
And, headset, test the boom mic, and, put the mic up against the door, do, a little, MacGyver style of listening on the other side, see if he hears anything.
You, okay, so, what I'll need you to do is, it's kind of a stealth roll here, because you don't want them to notice you. So, how do I want you to roll that? I don't think there is, a true stealth,
There's a stealth.
There's a stealth. Okay, good. I couldn't remember if it was called stealth or not. So, yeah, roll the stealth for me, just to make sure we don't, if there is somebody on the other side, you don't. Okay, I don't want. So, the door does creak a little bit as you open it, and you the good news is they don't see the boom mic as it feeds in, and as you peer in, you are in fact on the, it's like a back door to the stage area. You seem to be stage right, and it peers in even around the curtains, because it's Monday, they're setting up for whatever weekend festivities are coming. Your sight line shows that whoever probably owns this club, man with the bell bottoms that was described, as well as a few other Disco Inferno style folk, stand around a pool table in this club. They seem to be having some kind of meeting, a meeting of the minds. And your boom, as you listen in, does pick up part of the conversation. And the man at the head of the table, who, like I said, probably owns this, he speaks with a fervor in his voice, and he says, "This is unacceptable." And the other one goes, yeah, as the gentlemen pass around. "Is it true? The Anchormen have disappeared. I had heard they have disappeared. Yes, they are gone. Who's going to frequent our clubs? I do not know."
I, kind of, pull the boom mic back out. Yep, and, I'm still, kind of shuffling around, so you see, what was it, Dark Crystal, when, the guys with the lumps on the sticks are running through the head? It's you see this boom mic kind of...
And, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Long Jim Henson movie, sorry. And the boom mic taps Dallas on the shoulder.
Yeah, Dallas is just staring up at the staircase leading up, just remembering the glory of the VIP section. It's "Not now, Bernie. I'm thinking of the glory of the VIP section."
Well, just to let you know what, Dallas, I don't think that the folks who run this club have have their hands dirty from it. They seem to be very concerned that all the Anchormen are gone. So I mean, could be that they're on our side.
Huh.
Do you want me to boom closer?
I believe we need to get more of this story, so yes. Hold on, let's tell Mr. King, Matthias, I don't know if we should tell Jennifer just yet. Let's let them keep crying or talking it out or whatever they're doing.
You hear him again.
There. We've all been there with her.
We've all needed a good empathetic hold of a woman.
Some of us with our pants down.
Now, did Mr. King
Some of us with other people's pants on our head.
Did you guys want to search for anything while it's kind of almost like cutscenes? I picture that very 70s split screen where literally it's the 4 quadrants as each person does their individual search. We get Bernie picking up on the conversation inside of the club between what are potentially club owners in the city of Philadelphia. But what about the rest of you? Do you search anywhere or do anything?
I imagine I would be around sniffing for clues, literally, now that I have that attribute.
Yeah.
And trying to see what I can find. Want me to roll another investigate?
Yes, by all means, sir.
With that +1 now.
Yes, right? Of course.
Excellent.
Yes. At a 3, you go sniffing about his office. There are wisp and tinges in your nostrils of spilled cocaine all over the floor. And as you up his chair and get a whiff of his seat over to his desk, it continued lapping the air. You don't find too much Except
Okay.
inside his desk, there are files and things of the sort.
I do love looking in desks.
And you find his books. His, I guess finances, if you would. And something catches your eye. You taste it in the air. The smell of debt. That
To whom?
To a Dick Norton.
Ah, it thickens.
Dick Norton owes him a great deal of debt.
Well, look, he owes Dick Norton or vice versa?
Dick Norton owes him quite a
Owes
deal
him.
of debt. Yes. It's marked every time in the books. There's no descriptor. It's just a symbol.
And what is the symbol?
It seems to be...
Is it a dick?
Yes. It's a giant dick. Yep.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah, just a really... Actually, it's probably a poorly drawn dick. Let's see. Can I add it to the screen? I bet I can. Let me show you how poorly drawn this dick actually is.
Oh, please.
Yes.
Yeah, what's the artisan level of this dick, please? I need to know.
That's literally...
Critical.
Right there. On every line in his books is where Dick Norton's name is it does say, yeah, the debt of the dick is marked. I just drew a dick on my Twitch, just so everybody knows. It's permanent. It's there for all to see.
Nice.
Excellent. Quality entertainment.
I want to get rid of that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that is basically what it is in the. Like right there in the books, you kind of see the symbol over and over and over. It seems to represent. In terms of amounts, it varies, but you can see it continually racks up as if it's not being paid off as fast as it's being accrued.
Now, this money, could it be explained away by bar costs, or is there something larger and more suspicious going on here?
That is difficult to tell.
Is it by hundreds or thousands? I guess.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Some of them are much smaller numbers, couple hundred here, couple hundred there, but there are a few entries that are large in size. If I would say with a 3 investigate and your general good understanding and knowledge, you're able to cross-reference it with a calendar on the wall, the dates of the larger purchases, and they seem to be right before the weekend. Usually on a Friday or a Saturday.
All right.
In fact, Dick Norton made a very large purchase of somewhere around $800 or $900, which in the 70s is quite a lot, on Friday before the party that happened this weekend.
Okay, but there's no notation on what the money was for specifically. It's just dollar amounts.
Just dollar amounts, yep. Seems that
Okay.
he has his own way of notating what it is that Dick Norton owes him.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pocket this book.
Oh, you're gonna take his like financial book. Cool. Yeah, go for it.
And I will exit to ultimately meet with the others when this quad scene is done.
It's done, yeah. So we get this, like, sniffing about, licking of the floor, finding of dick drawings, partnered with that of Mr. Bernie on all knees, feeding a boom mic into the room. What about Mr. King?
There are 3 things that Mr. King is specifically looking for. The first thing he goes looking for is, pretty quickly, if there's a garage where vans could be kept.
Oh, interesting. All you saw was the back alleyway. You're welcome to kind of go back out there and investigate around if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no like interior like garage connected to the shop.
Not to this one. No, it seems like this it's kind of squished between a row of stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll probably wait on that then, and stay in the store for now. The next thing he wants to look for is the floor of the warehouse where the Anchormen were taken are very dusty, so he wants to look around for any like footprints of like dust or dirt that could be from that scene.
You're welcome to roll and investigate if you want. Picking up dust particles is pretty difficult. You're going to need at least a 3.
He's going to try.
Okay, add a 1.
That's 1.
Well, the good news is you don't see anything other than the usual dust. Nothing that pings for you. You don't see any kind of trace of dust from the docks, necessarily.
Okay. And then the last thing he wants to do is a lot of times at bars and clubs and stuff, they'll have a place where they have, like, business cards and things like that left by businesses. Mm-hmm. He wants to check those and see if, like, any other news stations or radio stations have, like, left, like, a stack of cards or flyers or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there's actually, like, a bulletin board, like, in the hallway with some, like, envelopes and things attached to it where people have left cards and flyers and, the works bands leave things. This is backstage, if you would, for the club. You see that there is an old flyer for 102.9. They had a car wash sale to try to raise money for the radio station, which of course he'd let his girlfriend post up. There are cards for this club in particular, and there seem to be a few other sets of business cards for other clubs in the area, about 4 or 5 of them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he'll kind of look at the car wash sign for the rock station and go like, they really went up in smoke.
The only other things that you kind of see that seem out of place or at least on this board, there is a salon that seems to be advertising here. And there's a flower shop that seems to be advertising here as well. And then other than that, it's pretty much just like other restaurants and local businesses, give or take.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so he will kind of nod, having studied this, and then head back to join the group.
Cool. And we get that cutscene. Dallas, is there anything you would like to be doing?
I think I would like to head up to the VIP section.
So you take the stairs up. There's a door at the end. It's actually unlocked, and it leads into his penthouse, which has almost like a balcony that overlooks the club. It's both his personal living quarters, really nice space, swanky swag carpets, large open walls, mahogany trim on things. The walls are striped and paisley.
I'm feeling at home here. This is why I got into the business.
Yeah, there's a bed in the center of the room that is circular. And there are clothes everywhere, as well as 2 naked women asleep in bed.
There's 2 naked women sleeping there?
Yes.
What we said?
Yes.
Oh my. This is... Take out a pad of paper. It's like bucket list items. He's looking it down. Okay, no. Maybe this is not the time. It's not the time. He's going to quietly kind of investigate around the naked women.
Okay.
To kind of see if there's anything going on. That he can...
There are lots and lots. There's, traces of cocaine kind of everywhere, as well as some heavier drugs. Rolled things and... some syringes currently lying about, bottles empty. Their slinky dresses, disco dresses from probably the weekend prior, still lay about. They are heavily asleep, lounged out. They don't seem like they are going to wake unless you wake them.
Right. Do they seem like they're like talking in their sleep? Okay, that's a lot to ask for, but it's a hope.
They are muttering. Oh, yes. Together as they kind of like roll about in the bed, but all in all, they're out. But the far wall is completely glass and overlooks the entirety of the club below you. And you too see the 5 men around the pool table. One, first you identify the owner of Smell the Funk, Mr. Funky himself. Yeah.
And I do smell the funk right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of funk in this space. But he's down there chatting with them. You can't see what they're saying or understand what they're saying.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the. There's like I guess some of the cocaine, and I remember that Matthias is really good at like he's able to sniff things and able to really investigate well when he does that.
When he sorts stuff, yeah.
So when he's like sniffing, around and doing that kind of thing. So, he's gonna be like, well, I need to look for clues. So let's do this. He's gonna take a good sniff of some cocaine, and I don't know if anything fun or funny happens there, but
you sniff it? You actually take a bump? Okay.
Yes.
Dallas Jackson. I would say you're gonna need to roll for that.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll? I was about to say that's a good question. It's really it's kind of a wits. You have to keep your. We're gonna say you have to keep your wits about you. It's it's your will.
I'm actually pretty good at that. I guess I'm used to this kind of thing.
Yeah, so you can take a nice big bump and see what's up.
And I guess what I could also be doing here is that
other than drugs,
if I'm used to this kind of like environment where I've been here before and everyone's doing crazy drugs and stuff, like are these the same crazy drugs? Maybe like something different?
That's a really good question. Let's give it a bump.
Give it a bump.
Well, the good news is you did enough of it this weekend that you have absolutely no doubt in your mind that this is the same stuff that Dick Norton was snorting up his nostrils at his party this weekend. Same stuff you snorted up your nostrils this weekend.
So there's a connection.
There's a connection. So there's a high probability that this is Dick's supplier.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a very, very good probability of that. As for the two women, they just seem like groupies or somebody that was here throughout the weekend. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna, if they're not covered, I'm gonna cover them. Just like,
oh, how nice.
Tight.
Okay.
Sleep tight, little beautiful naked women's.
And you cover them quaintly.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to come downstairs with probably some like powder on my face or whatever. And they're like, and I'm gonna meet up with everybody.
Dallas comes wandering down the stairs in a stagger as Mr. King comes out of the office. Matthias finishes up his. Mr. Burney gets off all fours, and we get that as in the little crosshairs. The center one appears as Jennifer is quaintly rocking this large man to sleep. He has cried himself into a slumber, and you're able to.
Probably also got like the smeared lipstick, which is sort of. Oh, yes. Right, that's fine then.
And the five of you serendipitously convene, again, as if it is a crossroads, each of you having learned your little bit of information. The meeting seems to still be going on. Voices are beginning to get raised inside. You can hear them through this swinging door onto the stage.
What did we learn?
Guys.
Large men have no stamina.
Oh, really?
Fascinating.
I have learned that Mr. Norton owes the proprietor of this establishment a great sum of money.
I believe that sum of money is going right to Dick's nose. Yeah, I'm going to point at my nose.
Which still has a little white tuff on it.
Yeah. Because they're using the same drugs. Like, it's the same cocaine. I bet he's...
Yes, you... Oh, yes,
I hope you brought enough for the rest of us.
There's a lot.
Paid for it, so.
There's a lot up there. I would love investigating. Can I say that? I love it. This is great. I'm having a great time with you guys. Is everyone having a great time?
Oh yeah. Yes, I'm having a wonderful time.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 6.
I'm having fun 65% of the time.
What are they arguing about?
Do you want to peek open, or you just want to try to listen through the door?
I was actually asking the group.
I've got it on tape.
True story. And he plays it back, what he managed to pick up on the boom. They are arguing about what's going to happen to their establishments when the Anchormen disappear. And now, knowing what you know, you realize by establishment, they don't mean the clubs.
So, they probably aren't responsible for the Anchormen disappearing then, because they're, it wouldn't be any good for them, would it? It would ruin their business model.
Again, we're in the wrong place.
Perhaps
it definitely had something to do with that radio station. It could have just been fans, I suppose.
Perhaps these could be allies. Maybe one of them saw something or knows something that could help us.
Oh, well then I should return the stolen property. Just a moment. I'm going back into the office.
And you
put
go
the
back
book
into
back
the
on
office
it.
to put it back, and you notice something you didn't notice before, maybe because you were not really interested, but there are some pictures on his desk, personal pictures, as, you know, business owners are wont to do. But it's one in particular that catches your eye, a newspaper clipping. That has been clipped and framed. The proprietor, as you so put it, of this establishment has his arm around a gangly and not terribly attractive gentleman, probably early 20s at the max. Deep cut V. He holds up, his fingers. A proprietor holds up a peace sign. He holds up his fingers in this kind of pose. And the headline states, "The Boogeyman wins again."
What?
It looks like he has won some kind of dance competition here at the proprietor's establishment. Smell the funk.
Is this dancer in this photograph?
The dancer in the photograph is like holding a trophy and is in like his disco position. And the proprietor has his arm around his waist in this posed picture for the paper.
Do I recognize this dancer?
Nope. Just seems to be some kind of boy.
Well, I will trade the one stolen object for the other.
You snatch the picture up. The five of you leave, or what is your plan when you rejoin them there, I guess, Matthias?
I'm going to hand the picture to the director. Look what I just found.
Perhaps I should ask them about this.
Could that be the Oogie Man?
It may very well be.
There's 2 oogies in there we don't have here, but perhaps they can fill in the gaps.
Maybe
Yes,
he
perhaps
has
if
a
we can find
competition.
one boogie, we can find the other 2 oogies.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
My God, this man has terrible dress sense.
Yeah, he's not, it's very disco. It is very, very disco. Definitely, Jennifer. But, he, like I said, he's just seems to be a very, less than attractive, just almost gangly type.
He needs some powder for that face shine. He's got a pimple there. Oh, look at those you can see the blackheads from here.
Yeah.
Are we sure the radio's not involved with this boogie guy?
Yes, he does have a face for radio.
Exactly.
But here's the question, Miss Jones. You're the expert on this. Is his face ugly enough that he would cover the face of an Anchorman?
I don't know.
So
I
many
mean,
questions.
This.
You don't think
I just
that
can't put
poor
my mind. That's so monstrous.
I'm in a storm of suspense and cocaine.
What if that poor creature
Yeah, take a
wanted to be
Valium, dear.
the man himself, but couldn't for obvious reasons, and now holds a grudge against the beautiful?
I'm going to use my empathy to try and sort of like work out if somebody could sink that low. I'm going to try and empathize with this guy.
Yeah, trying to get in his mindset. And I'm actually going to let I would say the director having an extreme knowledge of, and really Bernie too, of Anchorman lore, having been in this business for so long. You guys can roll a lore if you would like.
Ooh. Well, got me
So I'm empathizing.
You're gonna try to empathize with him.
I'm a good dancer. I have terrible dress sense.
That's a 6.
Damn.
Okay, you begin to empathize, and you're like, what? Yeah, you're trying to get in his head, and you're like, dancers don't have to really be pretty as long as they can move, and you're trying to piece it together, and nothing's really clicking.
And I just can't get past the awful clothes. They're just sticking in my mind. I'm just like, the clothes.
Yeah, God, it's just so bad.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you hit a dramatic pose as Mr. Bernie snatches it from you and begins kind of staring at the picture, trying to piece it together. And two, something you're just trying to radio, newspapers, you're not sure. But it is the director. It smashes you in the face like a ton of bricks. You know this face. You know this face well. Because he was fired by Dick Norton 2 years ago when he was simply an intern at WCAU. And that is where we will end tonight's game.
Dun, dun, dun.
No!
Such suspense.
Yeah.
Much-
And it goes, for sure. I know we're a little early, but like I said, I don't like to push. Like I'm like, it just, you guys found what you needed. That was the like stopping point. So we're gonna stop there and leave the suspense where it needs to be. Awesome. How are we feeling, crew? Schwanky?
Yeah, still having a really good time.
Good. As long as you're having a good time.
That imaginary cocaine was primo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody's really feeling those uppers, right? Also,
feeling it.
well, we are, of course.
I could do this for 12 more hours. A mid-morning drug party, then we break.
Right. Oh, God. If I don't get kicked off of Twitch for this episode, there will be no episode. It's been worse. Dick drawings and cocaine use. It's fine. Okay,
There's
so
also alcohol to minors, but
also
I mean,
alcohol. It was the 70s.
Also,
just a sip.
Also,
interviewing a minor without his parents' permission.
True. Well, hey, he signed a waiver.
He did.
Yeah, but he can't legally sign.
He's a child. He can't sign a
that's
legally
right.
binding contract.
yeah.
Well,
As far as the
everybody's in trouble
70s.
tonight.
Well, if he puts up a fit, we'll just question his manliness.
Not to mention, we also potentially killed like a couple hundred people and set fire to the radio station.
It's true. We don't know how exactly the fire has turned out yet. That may be.
We are
news for
bad
next
people.
Well, it's a citywide narcolepsy outbreak. Okay, it's nothing to do
we
with
also put like a quarter of the city to sleep.
That's
So
true.
whoever was in traffic or like driving a car.
It's fine. It's just a mass narcolepsy outbreak.
My God, do we have a helicopter, man?
Why do you think my ride rolls have been so high?
All right. Well, on that note, in terms of complete chaos in the city of Philadelphia, we will go around to the cast of this show who have caused such shenanigans and chaos. I'm going to start from the end and work my way to the top. Let's start with Mr. Rimley Farr. Did you enjoy yourself tonight? And where can we find you online?
I had a blast rocking old Mr. Bernie again, as always. You can find me at my website, www.rimleyfarr.com, and my Twitter, which is also got my name in there, Rimley Farr. I write D&D adventures. I've got a few coming up pretty soon, but my plate should be freeing up for commissions if people need anything done. I can always say, if you have a good idea, I can make it happen.
It's true, sorry. It's true.
So there is that. That is me.
Oh, man. Next up, Mr. Adam Jones.
Oh, hey, it's me, Adam Jones. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm at the. I occasionally tweet at Meet Adam Jones. I'm there. You can find me at as a voice of the Loot and Dagger podcast, and soon on North by Northwest, and 2 more podcasts in the works. And that's what's up with me right now. And I'm having again just an absolute blast on this at this game. It's a fun system. I like how flexible and fluid it is, and it's a great setting. And these are great players. So
Yeah, you guys really brought your A game with these characters. I think there were some comments earlier about that, about like just you guys like nailed some stereotypes, which is of course so Anchorman, which I'll talk about in the guide here. But yeah, you're right. I love this cast. You guys are just wonderful. And moving on to Miss Fuzzy.
Why, hello there. Yes, so I'm Fuzzy Freaks. Hi, I'm having so much fun. So much fun. It's totally worth staying up like super fucking late for. Totally. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm having so much fun. Yeah. So yay, and I got to have terrible sex with somebody in a bathroom, and then they cried.
Yeah. Well, that seems like a good day.
It's pretty standard for Jennifer.
I was gonna say it's a pretty Jennifer day.
You know, she's getting out in the fresh air a bit more than usual, but you know the rest is just half of the course.
True story. And last but certainly, and where can we find you online? What is it that you do there, Fuzzy?
So you can find me on twitch.tv/FuzzyFreaks, and I do a lot of variety streaming, and I can stop playing Pathfinder anytime I want.
Yeah, of course you can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you can. And Mr. Jacko Buddy, how are you?
Good. This was super duper fun. I was like talking about it when we're on break and stuff. Like, I really love the part at the beginning whenever we had like a writer throw out a headline, and then like she was doing all the makeup and he had his camera going and we did like the action and like just the whole news thing.
Yeah.
like super impromptu. Like I love just all those little moments, like the hands in, handshake, and I just love all these like cast moments. This cast is so in the spirit of Anchorman. And
Yeah.
Man, it's so much fun playing with these guys.
I totally agree. You guys make my life like super easy. You just like get the Anchorman vibe, which, like I said, I've said every game I think that we've done this is like that's why I picked you guys, because all of you love the movie as much as I do.
Yeah, and I think if we were taking it like seriously, like not an Anchorman, I think what we would have done today would have taken a normal tabletop game like 30 minutes to complete, and It took us 3 hours just to do all the shit.
Well, and remember, we're doing real time, so by the end of this game, it'll be noon. You guys have exactly 6 more hours to solve it, and now, new challenge, to beat the other news. What did I say, Channel 3? I think it was Channel 3.
We're gonna get one at 5:59.
That's right. Yeah. You have to tell the news before they do. So that was a lot of fun, and I loved your director handshake, the like contract between directors, like so dramatic. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So I go by Jacko Buddy everywhere online, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, all these different places. I do a lot of D&D writing for DM's Guild. I stream on the Reliant Games channel on Tuesday, which is actually a company that I own that does podcasting. On Thursday nights, I'm the DM for Island in the Sky on Unmade Gaming's channel, which Little Red Dot is actually a player in, and that's a whole lot of fun.
Tomorrow night!
Best Friends Club. And then coming up, I'm producing, I'm writing and very shortly recording a podcast in the City of Mist system, and then actually very excited to say that as of earlier this week, I am now actually a writer for City of Mist.
That's great, Jack! Congrats!
Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So super duper fun, super exciting, and a little stressful, but that's all right.
Yep. Very cool. Well, I'm excited. I'll have to see. I love City of Mist. I'm still waiting on somebody out there to invite me to come play in a game. Hello? Somebody invite me to play in a City of Mist game. Because I don't want to have to run my own, which is what it's looking like it's going to have to happen. Yeah.
If you want something done properly, do it yourself.
I mean, that's how we got here, isn't it? I was like, I wish somebody would run an Anchorman game. Well, fuck. I guess I'm running an Anchorman game.
Always the GM, never the player.
That's right. And last but certainly not least is, Mr. James Stiver.
Hello, Internet. Yeah, you can find me at I am Stiver. Again, I do podcasting. Right now it's just Loot and Dagger podcast, but I'll actually be hanging out with Adam's podcast when he starts one up here pretty soon. So that'll be fun. I think I'm going to make a guest appearance on North by Northwest.
True story.
Yeah, and that'll be fun too. Yeah, I am having an absolute blast with this whole stream. This is my first streaming thing, and I'm just like, man, I get it. I feel the vibe. Like,
I get that vibe. That is thanks actually to our viewers out there. So thank you, viewers, for keeping us in check.
Yeah, it's been a great vibe with everybody. I think we've told a really fascinating and fun Anchorman-ish story tonight. So that's last game and this game. So it's been wonderful.
That's true. I just threw out I freaking love you, Anchorman, for everybody out there, because I do freaking love you. If there was a rainbow, I'd let you do me on it. Awesome. And I am Little Red Dot, the most awkward of dots. And this is my channel. So if you stopped by and this is your first time here, thank you for coming by to watch this very strange game with these very awesome people that I had an idea for like 6 months ago, and they have allowed me to bring to fruition. If you are new here, go ahead and hit the follow button. That way you know when we go live. I don't do a whole lot on here in terms of RPGs. I'm kind of sticking to once a week at this point, because I play on so many other channels, including Nerd Immersion with the North by Northwest podcast. You can check me out on Unmade Gaming, over on the Greyhawk channel. On tomorrow night I finish up a campaign, but then I have a Saturday night orc game, D&D orc campaign called The Birthright of the Pomage that I'm running, which is cool. And then you can also check me out over on Roll4's channel playing through a Vampire the Masquerade campaign, and right now I have to say that is probably my favorite character I've ever roleplayed ever. So if you want to see me be evil and really just an awful vampire, you can come over to Roll4 on Saturdays and check that out. And then I have a super exciting announcement that I cannot make yet, but I start this Sunday on something something over on Monty Cook's channel. So if you like the Cypher system and you want to see me play in some Cypher, you're going to get to do that starting Sunday over with Monty Cook I'm so excited for this campaign. It hurts. So yeah, lots and lots of ways you can catch me and support me. I do have a Ko-Fi. I do have a Patreon. So depending on, what you want, my Ko-Fi helps support things like the writing of this game setting, actually, that I'll be releasing to the public. My Patreon, you're going to get things like my DM notes. I release all of my Spotify playlists for my campaigns there, so lots of different ways that you can catch up with what I'm doing. And if nothing else, yes, Dakota, for all of you out there that tune in, yes, Dakota. For all of you that want to connect with me more, you can hit me up on Twitter. Of course, there are tons and tons of ways on social media, but more importantly, I run a Discord, and my Discord is a pretty chill place. Lots of these people, all of these people actually hang out in my Discord, along with a lot of other cool people. So if you want to talk RPGs, if you want to post pictures of your fur babies, there are places to do all those things on my Discord, and I'll actually drop that link as well. I think that's kind of all from me. It is a busy weekend. I did post a schedule, but I got some of the times wrong, so I'm going to be reposting it because clearly I'm a professional. But the other thing there's a fur baby. See, fur babies. Come post your pictures of your fur babies.
A spider?
A spider fur baby. Love it. Yeah, so that's kind of, I guess, all I've got for you guys this week. Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be on our third of 4 episodes. So some of you out there, I think, asked how long this campaign is running. This is part of what I'm calling my monthly indie series, where we're running through indie games. 4 game campaigns. We are on 2 of 4. And we have exactly 2 more episodes for them to find the Anchormen before the 6 o'clock news does not get written. So we'll have to find out next week how much closer they get to solving the mystery of the missing Anchormen. So until next week, remember, don't take life too seriously, because I sure as hell don't. Bye, everybody. See you next week.